nights of basketball in a row. The NBA is absolutely on fire right now, dog. I think it's time we get after it. Let's do this thing, brother. You are listening to Take Back with Zach, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting world, including deep dives into the greatest teams to ever exist, the Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels. Ugh. Angels fans are so mad at me right now. I posted a take about like, hey, it's not the hook was like, what's going on with the Angels is not Artie Moreno's fault. Even though it all is Artie Moreno's fault, I use that as like the hook. Brother, everyone just heard that part, went straight to the comments and said, you don't know ball, you're a loser. You have no idea what's going on. Watch the whole video and then come talk to me. It's so annoying, bro. It's okay, though. It happens. You know what I mean? I'm out here like having good hooks and stuff that get people to watch the video. Just, it's supposed to get you in, a little appetizer, get you in the door, a little 2-for-1 special. And then you're watching the clip and you're like, all right, okay, maybe he knows what he's talking about. But most people do not have deductive reasoning skills. Tune in every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. and then every night following NBA playoff games. Yes, the playoffs. The conference finals games have arrived on our doorstep like a stork with a baby, delivering joy, excitement, fear, and envy as the Final Four teams go head-to-head in what is shaping up to be one of the greatest conference finals in NBA history. The Spurs and the Thunder play again tonight after the double OT thriller and truly asinine 41-22 rebound game from the Flying Frenchman, the Eiffel Tower, the Baguette and Tag It, the Move It or Louvre It, the alien Victor Wembanyama. The question for you, the listener, which we're going to be answering later in today's show, is Wemby good or bad for the game? Interesting. Is Wemby good or bad for the game of basketball? I do not know, so we'll be answering that later in today's show. Speaking of bad for the game, it appears that Live Golf is going belly up as the Saudi investment fund has pulled funding from the Golf League after sinking over $5 billion into something that nobody ever watched. Bad investment, brother. Congrats to the Sultan of Saudi Arabia for trying to get us to forget about the civil rights atrocities happening daily in your country, marked by Islamist extremism and true hate for fellow humans around the world. I wish I said that without stuttering. You suck. You loser. Take the L. I wonder what is going to happen to all of the players that jumped ship and left the PGA in lieu of untold riches and complete irrelevance. Maybe we can ask James Harden for advice, a guy who is quite used to jumping ship. Harden and the Cavs collapsed last night in epic fashion against the New York Knicks in what has to be one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of Ohio, a state chock full of nominees. Not to be outshined by the spotlight on the NBA, though, Stephen A. Smith decided to verbally threaten Jaylen Brown with journalism live on cable TV. The spat began with Stephen A. Smith saying something stupid, Jaylen Brown clapping back on Twitch, and now Stephen A. is threatening to actually do his job and do some real reporting on the situation rather than just grabbing a mic and spewing nonsense. Kind of like what I do. I've learned from the best. Thanks, Stephen. Rashid Rice is going to jail. LSU basketball is poaching the G League. The NHL Conference Finals are underway. Tennis is off to Roland Garros. And Aaron Rodgers is set to retire after this season. I have so many notes on the first two games of the conference finals, and I cannot wait to get into them and open up the phone lines to hear from you, the fan. But first, we begin this show the same way every single day, and that is with the verse of the day. Today's verse comes to you from Romans chapter 15, focusing in right here on verse 2. We should help others do what is right and build them up in the Lord. Amen. For even Christ didn't live to please himself. As the scriptures say, the insults of those who insult you, O God, have fallen on me. Such things were written in the scriptures long ago to teach us, and the scriptures give us hope and encouragement as we wait patiently for God's promises to be fulfilled. Patiently. May God, who gives this patience and encouragement, help you live in complete harmony with each other, as is fitting for followers of Christ Jesus. Then all of you can join together with one voice, giving praise and glory to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen, brother. In addition to the verse of the day, we also do the movie of the day. Today's movie of the day, Wes Anderson classic, Moonrise Kingdom. This was one of the first movies I watched, and I was like, that's a movie. You know what I mean? You know, like you watch Homeward Bound, or you watch Monsters, Inc., Monsters University, you're like, yeah, that's cinema. I like that kind of stuff. You watch Cars, you're like, wow, ka-chow. But then I watched this movie. My sister showed it to me. Shout out to my sister. She rocks. Love you. God bless you, sis. Not going to say her name. What am I saying? I watched this movie and I was like, wow, that's art. That's what movies could be like. I want to make something like that. And then I realized Wes Anderson is kind of lame. Moonrise Kingdom, set on an island off the coast of New England. Patriots suck. In the summer of 1965, let's go, Woodstock. Moonrise Kingdom, Woodstock? Is that what it was called? Woodstock. Moonrise, it was 1969 too, I believe. Woodstock. Moonrise Kingdom tells the story of two 12-year-olds who fall in love. Oh, this is inappropriate. Make a secret pact and run away together into the wilderness. Whatever happened to these two child actors, by the way? They were fantastic in this film. I don't know if I've seen anything from these two child actors. I say that, and then it's like, oh, they were on Broadway for the past 3 years, like playing a lion. I'm like, all right, okay, who cares? Broadway sucks. I'm out on plays. They're cool. I used to do plays. I used to do theater. I'm an actor myself. Hello. Yeah, plays are lame. As various authorities try to hunt them down, a violent storm is brewing offshore, and the peaceful island community is turned upside down in every which way. Bruce Willis, tough. Prayers up for Bruce Willis and his family, man. Tough, dude. Very, very sad. Dementia. Bruce Willis plays the local sheriff, Captain Sharp. Edward Norton is a Khaki Scout troop leader, Khaki Scout leader. Scoutmaster Ward, Bill Murray and Frances McDormand, shout out to her. 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, one of the best movies ever made. Portray the young girl's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Bishop. The cast also includes Tilda Swinton, the Wicked Witch of the West. No, she was in Narnia. Jason Schwartzman and Bob Balaban. And introduces Jared Gilman and Kara Hayward as Sam and Susie, the boy and the girl. That's who it is. Jared Gilman and Kara Hayward. Shout out to them for being child actors. I kind of think both these series are going to go 7 slate. I cannot wait to hear more of your thoughts as we jump into it in today's Power Hour. Last night, brother, between you and me, that was one of the most epic collapses in the history of basketball, as it was 93-71 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Knicks finished the game on a 44-11 run to force overtime and ultimately win the game by double digits. See, man, this right here, this is why you don't gamble, okay? This is a PSA to every young man out there who's like, maybe I should put $100 on my DraftKings Sportbook. The line last night was 7. So if you took Cavaliers +7, you were cruising the entire game. Every Cavs +7 bettor was cashing in their tickets last night, and then a historic collapse, more tragic than the Trade Center, sent all those dog-taking degenerates home with their tail tucked between their legs. They lost the game by 11, and all of those bets did not cover. Because the game doesn't end at OT. The game doesn't end at regulation. It doesn't end till the fat lady sings. Why? Who? Where is she? Who was she? Who was the first ever lady to be like, hey, I am large and I'm the one who's going to call the game? And they're like, okay, let's give it to her. I woke up in the middle of the night last night screaming, thinking about how the Cavs let Jalen Brunson play iso ball on James Harden for 17 straight possessions. Jalen Brunson had 11 points in a row for the Knicks to get the lead down to 5. Then Evan Mobley hit a huge 3 to stop the 15-1 run and get the lead back to 8 with 3 minutes left. We have a guy in the show. His name is Blake. He's one of the best listeners, best callers that we have in TBWZ. He's a loyal member of the Veenies Weenies. He might even be a commander of Veenies Weenies. One day, he'll be sitting high on his horse, leading us to the Battle of the Bastards, like we saw last night on Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones. Shout out to Jon Snow. The body's piling up in that scene. Brother. When he's about to get trampled and he's like suffocating, scary. It reminds me of when Beatrix Kiddo punched her way out of the grave and was like, does that make any sense at all? Whoa, I look so jacked right there. Goku fan is also a top listener of the show. Absolutely. But Blake hopped into the chat, 18-point lead. He's like, this game is over. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. They look pretty rusty. And then New York did that thing to the Cavs, bro. Mikal Bridges, bro, shout out to you. You have been getting dogged by every single member of the media and every single New Yorker that dons the black and blue. Black and blue? The blue and orange. I was about to say blue and gold. I went full UCLA. First, I went, what teams are black and blue? Sabres? Utah State? Yeah. Bro, everyone was so mad at you this entire postseason run saying you can't shoot, you're a waste of 5 picks. He hit 2 of the biggest threes back-to-back to cut the lead back down to 3. And then, of course, everyone had this one, right? Landry Shamet hitting the game-tying 3-pointer. Landry Shamet. James Harden hit a shot after that to take a 2-point lead, but then, of course, Brunson gets inside and ultimately ties the game at 101 and sends this thing to overtime. Bro, the Cavaliers scored 11 points in the last 13 minutes of the game. They had a 22-point lead with 8 minutes left in the game. You had no answers on the offensive end as everyone seemed to just be chucking up threes due to Spida getting completely clamped at that end on defense. All sat... What? That's just the worst written sentence of all time. I just ran out of gas completely. You had such a good game plan for the Cavaliers offensively. It was all working. 8 minutes left in the game, you started doing a hack a Mitch thing. You started slowing down the pace. You started really just trying to drain the clock out. And New York kept pushing. And when it was time for you to step up on offense, your guys weren't there. Bro, the whole game was just, at the end, watching Jalen Brunson cook you like he's on Hell's Kitchen. Donovan Mitchell was 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter and overtime, while James Harden was 1 for 7. Your star guards, when it combined 2 for 13 in the most clutch situation of the entire season, all because they couldn't shake the hounding defense from Landry Shamet. I'm doing a mean thing to Landry Shamet there, but brother, come on. Dude, rewatching this fourth quarter this morning, it was shocking to me that Kenny Atkinson kept James Harden in the game. Every possession from the 8-minute mark was the same exact play from the Knicks. Whoever had Harden on them would go up top, set a screen for Jalen. They would switch every time without fail, and then Brunson would take James Harden to the rack, and they did that every single play. There was no adjustment from Kenny Atkinson. I'm sitting here today like, bro, you had Max Strus on the bench during that run. You had Keon Ellis on the bench during that run. Why not swap James Harden out? He's not doing anything for you on offense. The thought for Kenny is like, well, if he's giving up those 2 points on the defensive end every time, it's fine. We have a huge lead. We just have to score on offense to be able to keep the lead, which is logical thinking. And so obviously if you're going to go that play, then keeping James Harden in would work. But you weren't scoring. James Harden wasn't doing anything for you offensively. All he was a defensive liability. The fact they didn't sub him out and bring someone else in was crazy. They should play Harden for the first 3 quarters and then just sit him for the whole fourth. I mean, brother, they needed to do something, and he wasn't able to do a thing. I'm legit sick to my stomach for Cavs fans having to wake up this morning knowing that you should be 3 wins away from the finals. Your coach completely let you down in this game by leaving James Harden in and having no answer for the Jalen Brunson ISO. I watched Kenny Atkinson's post-game interview after the game, okay? His spirits were very high. He had a lot of confidence, and I was like, hey, this is a good look from the coach. And then he said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life, bro. And I speak constantly to you guys. I say the dumbest things in the world, but I did not say anything close to as dumb as what Kenny said last night. He literally claimed, the Knicks got a little bit lucky. Bro. The Knicks got a little bit lucky. He mentioned twice the Mikal Bridges threes. I watched both of those plays back. Yeah, the first one, the shot clock was winding down. It was a step back 3. He was open, though, and he's a great 3-point shooter. So, yeah, I expect him to make that shot. The second one, there's 15 seconds left on the clock. He was wide open in the corner, and he hit it. Unlucky? Yeah, Sam Merrill's shot at the end of the game went in and out. That was unlucky. There was a couple of moments here and there, sure. But the luck had nothing to do with the fact that you played James Harden for the entire fourth quarter when he was getting cooked the entire time by Jalen Brunson. He had a ton of confidence in his team and said he was proud of the guys. And although they played poorly in the fourth, he felt like the team was just a little unlucky. Hey, Kenny, this was not a case of the ball not bouncing your way. This was a case of your team running out of gas and you having no answers for them late in the game. The Oreo Football League. Let's go, bro. I'm joining. The worst part for me is that Knicks fans should have woken up this morning with hearts full of pain and suffering, and now they're streaking through Central Park screaming bing bong. The arrogance and entitlement of Knicks fans this playoff run has quickly skyrocketed them into my most hated fan bases, along with the Patriots, Packers, Celtics, and, of course, Yankees fans. This is the first time in my life that the New York Knicks have been legit title threats, yet every single soft-brained, blue and orange-clad degenerate is parading around with their chest pumped so full of bravado, you would think the team is a dynasty going for their fourth in a row. They are one of the most illogical and arrogant fan bases in the world. They have become so accustomed to being bad that just the slightest sprinkle of success brings every fan to the streets to riot and scream like toddlers on a t-ball team. The only Knicks fan that deserves any sort of respect is Spike Lee, because he was there through the thick and through the thin. All of the rest of them can get out of my life. Except for Anne Hathaway. She can stay for other reasons. All of the NBA sucks guys who tuned in this week for the conference finals games, they ought to be eating their words this morning. All these lame white dudes and old school unks complain about the game and the fouls and the play style, yada, yada, yada. The amount of times someone has told me they cannot believe I watch basketball as much as I do is astounding. All the time. I cannot believe you watch the NBA. How do you watch that, bro? These two conference finals games have been legit the best 48 hours in the history of basketball. Watching Wemby do that to OKC, to hit that shot and close the game out, the end of the game was straight up cinema. I thought there was no way that Cavs and Knicks could come close to that, and then we got one of the most insane comebacks in the history of hoops. Basketball is just on fire right now, man, and we get more tonight as OKC and San Antonio head back out for Game 2. This series is off to an unbelievable start. Everyone expected this series to be great, as some are even saying it might be the greatest playoff series since LeBron versus Steph. However, great as we all thought it would be, not a single soul expected a double OT thriller in Game 1 that felt a lot more like a Game 7. A wise man once told me, no shot is a bad shot if it goes in. But man, oh man, seeing him pull up from 35 feet made my stomach do a front flip. To have the balls even to attempt that shot, then to hit that three, needing it to go to OT. Man, I don't know what else to say other than greatness. To highlight just how great that shot was, I wanted to pull up for you guys the call of that shot from the OKC official radio. So this is the OKC radio team, courtesy of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. This is the call from the OKC. What am I saying? This is the call from the OKC radio team. That's what I meant to say. There we go.
Wembanyama has it, left wing Castle. Patrolling Wemby, leaning 30-foot three to tie is in there. 26.
That's the call on the Wemby shot. Is in there.
Here's the OKC call.
Wembanyama has it, left wing Castle. Patrolling Wemby, leaning 30-foot three to tie is in there. 26.3 to play.
It's one of the greatest calls in the history of sports, bro. It's so mundane. It's so quiet. You can hear, like, audibly the arena just go, ugh. Ugh. Basketball was more boring when it was Cavs Warriors everywhere. We've had 7 different champs in 7 years. That is true.
Wembanyama has it, left wing Castle. Patrolling Wemby, leaning 30-foot three to tie is in there. 26.3.
It's in there. Bro, it's the least excitement I've ever heard someone have. It sounds much more like a high school broadcast doing their first game ever. No, actually, that guy would be way more excited to be broadcasting. That 16-year-old pimple-faced boy would be so stoked to be calling a game with excitement and exuberance on the tip-off. This was the biggest shot of the season. Not even a single ounce of excitement. He pulls up from 33 shots, it's in there. He pulls up from 30 feet, it's in there. It's good. Yeah, bro, is definitely a Thunder fan. Slade is getting paid by the Thunder. At least show a little bit of excitement. If I'm driving home listening to the game, I'm like, oh gosh, what is it? And it's like 30 feet. Oh man, what? Dang it, he tied it up with a 3. And then you go watch the play and you're like, that was the play? Imagine just listening to that on the radio and then actually seeing the play. There's no bigger discrepancy in sports right now than that radio call to the actual moment of the shot, bro. Where am I? I wasn't sure. Great transition. I wasn't sure when the rest of the world was going to realize that the future GOAT of the NBA was standing before us. I thought maybe next year, if they win the title, the world will realize, Nah, it happened on Monday night, bro. All over sports media, I heard these talking heads flummoxed by the greatness of Victor Wembanyama. It was one thing to see him physically standing over everyone else, but the main thing is watching him do that and shoot threes and care the way he does and defend both of your best players and represent an entire country. And, oh yeah, he's also pretty good at blocking shots. The craziest thing about Wemby's greatness is that I started to hear a slight tinge of people feeling bad for the Thunder. Now listen, nobody said it out loud. Nobody was like, hey man, this is not cool. I feel bad for the Thunder. But I can tell when something is rumbling deep below the surface, and there was a lot of backroom chatter about Wemby being an unfair advantage. You heard it slightly. Throughout the entire playoffs, everyone's like, I hate this Thunder team, I hate this Thunder team, I hate this Thunder team. Just listen as the narrative slowly starts to change away from this Thunder team is OP, it's not fair what they're doing, to, hey, having Wembanyama is kind of a cheat code. That's where it's heading right now. That is exactly where it's going. People are starting to be Thunder apologists. Just know I will never be that. I'm anti-Thunder through and through. As a Laker fan, though, got to keep it a G. I am also anti-Spurs. I have to be. So watching this series is absolute torture for me. But, brother, it is good basketball. I don't think it's going to take long for people to start saying that having Wemby on the floor is an unfair advantage. Seriously. You will have sad fans and emotional analysts start claiming that Victor Wembanyama is a cheat code and him being out there is bad for the game of basketball. Home run from Ketel Marte. Gosh dang it! Ketel Marte, 2-run home run. He's on my fantasy bench, dude. I've been such a bad fantasy baseball manager. Ketel Marte hit a game-winning home run yesterday. Now he's a 2-run home run tonight. He had a walk-off yesterday. Now a 2-run home run tonight. Absolutely crushing. And he's sitting on my bench accumulating hundreds of points, doing nothing for my team. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be claiming Victor Wembanyama is a cheat code and that having him out there is bad for the game of basketball. Just to keep it clear, I did have this take about 2 months ago when I said that when the Spurs play Victor Wembanyama, they should only get 3 other guys on the floor, so they should only have 4 when Victor's out there, or he can only play with one hand. So I've already had that take. So when you hear from other people, just know they copied TBWZ. The question, though, I want to answer, is Wemby good or bad for the game of basketball? Is Wembanyama good or bad for the game of basketball? Obviously, I think the positives are that he is passionate about playing. The positives are that he's passionate about playing the game and growing the sport around the world. He cares heavily about his city and wants to win not for himself, but also for the people of San Antonio and across America now. He is a max effort type player that even in an exhibition game like the All-Star game, he is always going to give his max effort. And above all else, he is a complete anomaly on the floor as we have never seen anything like him grace the game of basketball. The main con for Wemby is that I have to burp in the middle of that. The main con for Wemby is that he is a complete anomaly on the floor as we have never seen anything like him tarnish the game of basketball. There is no real answer for a guy 5 inches taller than everyone else on the floor that can also handle the ball and can shoot threes from the logo and defend 2 guys at once and average 5 blocks a game. They are the only team in the league that has access to that kind of talent and skill set, and a bunch of people are going to start saying that the Spurs have an unfair competitive advantage with Wemby. That is the reason he might be... That, however, is not the reason that he might be bad for the game. The reason Victor Wembanyama might be bad for the game is because he's only 22 years old. He might be doing this legit for the next decade of our lives. I don't know any of you. If you just had a kid, you're like, woohoo, I have a kid. Oh, cool. They don't have to see LeBron and Steph every year like I did when I was a child. Oh, cool. They just get to see Victor Wembanyama dominate and their team lose all the time. Ultimately, all of the guys who hate on the association are the ones that think everyone flops and load manages themselves and don't really care. Man, just pump the brakes, bro, because this dude absolutely cares. Wemby has put the league on notice. He is here to stay, and if you don't want to go out there and compete, you about to get worked, brother, because he is going to bring it every single night. He cares more about winning than I have seen in a star since maybe Kobe Bryant. And you got to believe that he is going to be winning a lot. Hectic. I mean, the Hornets will destroy the Spurs soon. Don't worry. That is true. The Hornets, unfortunately, were the number 2 pick in the Wemby draft. I can't imagine a sadder situation to be in. Seeing Victor Wembanyama dominate. The juxtaposition between the Hornets fans, like, so happy that they won a play-in game. Like, dude, we won a play-in game against the Heat, bro. Hey, we're on the rise. Oh, hey, Con Knipple's pretty good. Hey, Lonzo Ball. Hey, man. Hey, my brother. Cobra. They're all stoked on their team, and then they have to sit here and now watch Wemby and be like, man, we were one pick away from getting them. You know it's completely rigged that he's in San Antonio, first of all. Here are the last 3 first overall picks for the city of San Antonio. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama. Just like, they're all Hall of Famers. It's crazy. I don't even know why San Antonio. Why them? Like, what is it with San Antonio? Do they have just the best owner of all time? Like, what? I know it's a franchise that is rooted in greatness and has a history of success and winning. Why San Antonio? Why do they get the rig job? Did you know the Rockets and Spurs had a coin flip for Wemby? What does that even mean? It was for the first pick? What does that even mean, Oreo? Hornets lost on AD, Wemby, Shea, and Kobe. It's true. Hornets, every year they've picked 2. Like, the guy that goes 1 was just like the most unbelievable talent in basketball. It's very, very sad. Very tough for Charlotte. I think Adam Silver in the NBA, stepping back to David Stern, just hates Charlotte. Bro, he knew what he was doing when he gave Michael Jordan the Hornets. He was like, yeah, this is going to go well. Here you go, MJ. You know what's crazy? I'm getting all these Angels fans mad at me for my take on Artie Moreno. He bought the team for $180 million in 2003. $180 million. How crazy is it that in 23 years, the valuation has gone from $180 million to like $1.8 billion? How... It's just the evaluation on these franchises is just so unbelievable. It used to be like this thing that like, hey, every kind of like super successful multi big time millionaire was like, I could kind of run maybe and get a team. Bro, you could make $500 million in your lifetime and not even be able to be close to buying a franchise now. They had a 50-50 chance for the best odds and did a coin flip and lost. The Rockets did. That coin flip was not fair, brother. I promise you that right now. Charlotte is cursed because the ancient Cherokee rituals keep the city from being good. Huh. We have some ancient burial talk going on in the TBWZ chat. What else would you want on your beautiful Sports Wednesday? Wemby is a star ascending to greatness, brother, on his way to a long and fruitful career. Just like Aaron Rodgers, who has announced he will be hanging up the cleats after this season. Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter were making out. I don't know. They were hooking up. And we just got the announcement this morning that Aaron Rodgers is going to be retiring after the 2026 season. I'm actually having a rough time right now. Kobe and Shea were drafted and traded. That is true. Kobe did not want to play in Charlotte. Here's the toughest part for the Charlotte Hornets, right? They got the number 2 overall pick when Wemby went 1. They got the number 2 when Duncan went 1. They had Kobe and traded him. They had Shea and traded him. They've had some really, really tough luck with the lottery, specifically talking about the talent that has gone before their pick. I do not think any of those guys would have been successful, though, if they stayed in Charlotte. we could talk about, like, oh, if the Hornets had Wemby, they would be... No, I think they would still suck. Just something about it. And I'm not trying to be mean to Charlotte Hornets fans. I think you're one of the better fan bases in the NBA, to be completely honest. I also think Charlotte is a great town. I love it there. One of the best comedy clubs in America is in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Comedy Zone. Shout out to Tina. Tina's the security guard there. She's awesome. I don't think any of those players would have done anything with Charlotte. You know, we could sit there and be like, wow, well, imagine if Kobe stayed in Charlotte and didn't get traded to the Lakers. Man, we would have been so good. We would have won NBA championships. No, you wouldn't have. You're still the Charlotte Hornets. Kobe had success in L.A. because he was in L.A. I think Wemby's as successful as he is because he's in San Antonio. Mitch Johnson's the head coach, right? But we know Greg Popovich is still out there running things. Pop is still calling a lot of shots. He's still at practice. He's still developing talent. A huge reason Victor is the way that he is right now is because he is in San Antonio. I think he owes as much of his game to San Antonio as San Antonio owes him. That didn't make any sense at all. The Hornets are on the rise. Con Knippel will be Klay Thompson. Hectic, I hear you, brother. I cannot imagine a situation where a team wins the NBA Finals with LaMelo Ball as their best player. He's very, very fun to watch. Very, very fun. He's exciting. I love LaMelo Ball. I think he can shoot from anywhere. He's a solid player. Come on. He's just not serious. I love the idea. Like, this sports show is like a non-serious sports show. It's about having fun and talking ball with your homies and hanging out and building a cool community. But, what? LaMelo Ball is just so unserious. Look at every great leader of a franchise. None of them act like LaMelo. I don't think LaMelo wants to be the leader of the franchise. I'm not putting blame on him. I don't know if a lot of people are even asking him to do that. But that is a team that clearly does not have like a true vocal leader, in my opinion. If you could keep Con Knippel and LaMelo Ball and get a player that's better than both of them, I mean, that would be awesome. But ultimately, I think I would rather keep Brandon Miller and Bridges together with Con Knippel and trade LaMelo Ball for a better piece. That Hornets team is a legit Eastern Conference threat if they trade LaMelo Ball for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is here soon. Trust me, there he is. Our offensive rating drops off a cliff when he subs out. LaMelo keeps that offensive line alive. Yeah, I mean, one of the most underrated parts of his game is his passing and his ability to create offense for other people around him. He has a ton of gravity. A lot of people pull his way. I cannot seriously look at the way he acts and the way he plays and be like, that is enough to be the best player on a championship team. What it is like, if he's your best player, I'm pretty sure you're like a fringe play-in team or like maybe a 6 seed that sneaks in or a 5 seed that can maybe win a series. You know, Con Knippel disappeared in that last play-in game. He disappeared in both play-in games, to be completely honest with you, but I think that Charlotte team is super, super fun. I'm very excited about the prospect of Cockbrenner and Moose and Brandon Miller and Con Knippel. I think it's a really fun team. A team that's on the rise, 1,000,000%. I don't know if I can sit here and fully say that LaMelo Ball is enough to be the best player on a championship team. Knippel hit the rookie wall. He hit something, brother, and it was not good. It was tough to watch, bro. It was. And I'm really high on the Hornets. I do like that team. I'm high on the Hornets and the Jazz, which is just so stupid. Like, what's happening right now, and I don't have notes on this, I'm just going to go off, but seeing what's happening in the Western Conference, with the way the Spurs and OKC are set up and the way they're established for the future, and the way how young their stars are, how good their teams already play. If I was a superstar and my goal was to win championships, I would not be trying to go west. We had the Utah Jazz tank for the past 3 seasons to accumulate talent and be able to have a shot at making a run. I don't know how you could imagine the next 10 years in the Western Conference going, aside from OKC and the Spurs getting to the Western Conference Finals every year. As a team in the West, you're going to have to go through both of them to get to the finals. There will not be a situation when you just have to beat one. You're going to have to play both of those teams. We were doing a lot of talk about LeBron James, and I've sat here and said that the best option for LeBron, and the thing that he probably wants more than anything, is to be near his family. It's to stay in LA. So that's either play for the Lakers again or sign something with the Clippers, which would be just crazy for the Clippers. But if anyone's going to sign a vet minimum and play with the play with the team, you'd play with the Clippers, because you know Steve Ballmer's going to circumnavigate the salary cap to make it happen and get you over there. If your goal is to win rings, it's impossible for me to think that you should go to the West. Oreo said it right now. The only possibility for another team to reach that mountaintop in the Western Conference in the next decade would be injuries to OKC or to the Thunder. That's kind of how the Mavs did it When the Lakers and the Spurs were doing this, there was a 12-season stretch where the Western Conference was represented in the finals by either the Spurs or the Lakers. That's kind of what we're getting right here. It's kind of setting up to looking at the landscape of the league. First of all, I think the league is in a very, very good spot. I keep dropping my pen. Little base hit from Susac. Advances the man to third. First and third, no outs. Merrill Kelly still on the bump. 54 pitches in, top 4. I have a team in the West. And it hurts my heart to see these two teams play basketball. It really does. I want to have hope for the Lakers, right? If you're a Golden State fan, you're like, wow, dude, what if LeBron comes to Golden State and we run it back with Steph and LeBron, dude? We're going to be so good. Not good enough, though. Matt Ishbia was like, we are keeping Devin Booker. Devin Booker is good enough to be the best team on a championship team. Maybe 5 years ago. Not anymore. Not when those two teams are sitting there. And I hear all of the, well, the Thunder aren't going to be this good for that long because they're going to have to re-sign all of their talent. They can't afford to keep all of these guys around. You know what they can afford to do is trade these guys before they sign big contracts for first-round picks and then hit on those picks. I have not seen Sam Presti miss on a pick yet. He always gets great talent in the draft. And Dagnon, that coaching staff, is incredible at developing talent. That is a well-oiled machine over there. SGA is 28 years old. So, yeah, at the decade mark, Wemby will be 32 and SGA will be 38. You're like, I don't know if that's going to... Hey, J-Dub is still sitting there. AJ Mitchell is still sitting there. Chet is still quite young. But it's not about the stars that they have now that make me think that the Thunder are going to be here for a long time. It's the fact that they still have picks and they still have talent on their bench, lottery talent that isn't even playing any minutes because their team is that good and they have so much depth. When you do not miss in the draft and you're elite at developing talent, you're going to be good forever. Zach, did you see the team list from the OFL in the Discord? I have no idea what that is. No clue. I am hopeless. I'm hopeless. The Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, he's up for a contract extension in June, right? June 1st is when kind of that stuff is going to start, I think. Or later June, but he's up for a contract extension with the Denver Nuggets. And if he signs it, it's a 4-year, $290 million contract that pays him $72 million a year. That's like a really, really cool contract when you consider that Jokic is like the best player in the league. But I think it's the dumbest thing you could possibly do, considering the fact that OKC and the Thunder are sitting, or OKC and the Spurs are sitting right there. What can you build around a $72 million a year type player that's going to compete with those two teams? Top line talent is not going to get it done against the Thunder or the Spurs. It's not. It's depth. It's having so much talent that you could overwhelm them. The Timberwolves are not going to be able to build a team around Anthony Edwards to compete with that. The Lakers will not be able to build a team around Luka Doncic to be able to compete with that. The biggest competitive advantage that you could have in football is having a quarterback on a rookie deal. Or you had a situation like with Sam Darnold where he was making $20 million, right? Most cases, your highest paid player is your quarterback, right? So when you have a guy on a rookie contract, you're able to build a team around them. That's why the Chiefs were so good the first 5 years of Pat Mahomes' career, because he was still on a rookie scale deal. Right when he signed for like a $60 million a year deal, we saw the team kind of drop off, and he now has to start playing hero ball all the time. Because they simply just don't have enough money to go around to fill those rest of the roster out. I have a horrible thought. It's the Oreo Football League. What's up, dude? That's so sick. All the teams because there are no real NFL teams? Okay, that's so sick. Creativity, I love it. We're going to check it out in just a second. The idea for those three teams specifically, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Lakers, you have a superstar talent at the top, right? You have a pedigree of winning. I think you have good front offices and good coaching. You've had success. You've been on the doorstep of the championship for a long time now. That window's closed. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, that window is closed. Anthony Edwards is a Georgia boy through and through. He played basketball at Georgia. He was born in Atlanta. He's going to be a Hawk. Anthony Edwards is going to sign with the Atlanta Hawks once his contract extension is up because Anthony Edwards' goal is to win championships. He's a winner. It's so obvious to me when you watch him play basketball, his goal is to win. And that's what he wants more than anything. And women, but having 100 kids. If Anthony Edwards' goal is to win championships, it's not going to be done in the West. You have to go east. When LeBron was doing his thing with the Miami Heat and then with the Cavs, when LeBron went to 8 finals in a row, all of the talent in the East moved west because they saw what was happening there and they're like, I don't have a shot at winning over here. I'm going to go west. Plus West Coast, best coast. If your goal is to win championships, it's going to be a lot easier to do it in the Eastern Conference than it is going to be in the Western Conference. That is straight up. Right now, we're looking at the West and like, dude, the gauntlet of the Western Conference, bro. It's such a good conference. It's so much more talented than it is in the East. That is not going to be a thing 4 or 5 years from now. Steph Curry is going to run it back with Steve Kerr this season in Golden State. I don't care who you put on that team. Jimmy Butler fully healthy. Draymond Green vintage performance. Put LeBron James on that team. Surround them with shooters. Surround them with defense. That team is not doing anything against the Spurs or against OKC. If you're a fan of a team in the West, I legit think like your hope is shot in this one. It's just tough. It's almost as tough of trying to decide what Aaron Rodgers' legacy is going to be. Aaron Rodgers, 7 years ago, was coming off an MVP, a tragic playoff loss. We were looking at Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people were calling him the most talented quarterback to ever exist. Watching him throw the football still to this day gives me goosebumps. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks that we have ever seen. And then COVID happened, and he went full ayahuasca trip, like stargazing, hippie, darkness retreat. So many weird things. He had the weird immunization thing where he lied about getting the COVID vaccine. He's completely estranged from his family. He hasn't talked to them in years. Like divorces and drug use and very, very strange things that he said in the media. Spewing conspiracy theory. Aaron Rodgers over the past 5 years has completely tanked his stock that the world had in him. We used to revere Aaron Rodgers. We're being like, dude, what? Oreo, I got to talk to you about you being a Spurs fan, though, because it's not adding up right now. It's not adding up, and it's starting to really piss me off. I think Oreo became a Spurs fan after they picked Wemby 1-1. If that's not the case, I feel so bad. Or I love you through and through, though. Since 2021, there it is. Aaron Rodgers was going to be remembered as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever exist. And now I think I'm going to remember him as a complete kook. The biggest thing I've seen him do, like the most outstanding thing I remember from Aaron Rodgers over the past 5 years is tearing his Achilles tendon holding the American flag. On 9/11. I feel bad for the guy, to be completely honest with you. I do. I really feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, man. I think he had such a great Q score with the world. And it just ate at him. I don't think he wanted to be a name in the lights guy. I don't think he wanted to be an example. I don't think he was out here trying to set any sort of stage for people. Be like, hey, look, this is what it's like to be a quarterback in the NFL, to be a good person. Because he's not. I would venture to say that most people think Aaron Rodgers is not a good guy. I'm excited to like see what happens with the remainder of this season, but I can't imagine anything good is going to happen. The only thing I could possibly think, the only angle that I could think about of Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers, right? Because we've talked about what the Steelers' needs are. The Steelers' needs are to be bad and draft a quarterback high in the first round next year because of all the talent that's coming from the college football. Having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback will make your team better than if it was Will Howard. So, if the goal is to lose and get a high draft pick, playing Aaron Rodgers, it's just not adding up until I think about this. Aaron Rodgers is purely signing with the Steelers. So, the Steelers can trade Aaron Rodgers in the middle of the season to a contending team whose quarterback gets hurt. Because we see it every year. Last year Joe Burrow got turf toe week 2 or 3. They hopped on the phone and got Joe Flacco over there very, very quick to try to save their season. You're going to see a situation this year where a quarterback gets hurt in the first 4 games of the season on a championship contending type team. The first call that team is going to make is to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The second one is probably to the Raiders to see if they can go get Kirk Cousins. Maybe the third is to the Falcons to see if they can get Tua or Penix. I have no idea who's going to be starting over there. But ultimately, I think Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers on this 1-year deal as a little bit of ha-ha, hoo-hoo, because they're planning on trading him to whatever team needs a quarterback after theirs gets hurt week 2. It's beneficial for both teams, too. Because they can go and get a 5th or 4th round pick for Aaron Rodgers. It's like a little handshake thing. Thanks for the time here. I'm on my way out now. Here's a pick. Oreo reached a 90-stream streak. Wow! 90 streams in a row for Oreo the cat, man. That is dedication. That is straight up. Now tell me, do you really want to love? It could be to the Chiefs 4 Fields. That's true. That's another one, Oreo. Those are. I do think the Chiefs are not going to be moving on from Justin Fields, though. I think because they're a contending team themselves, and they want to have their good backup quarterback in case their quarterback goes down, right? I think if it was, it would be one of those non-contending, non-competitive teams. Like I named the Raiders, and I named the even the Cardinals. The Cardinals have Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. If your quarterback goes down week 2, you're going to make a call to the Cardinals and be like, hey, what would it take for us to get Jacoby Brissett? But the number one option for said team, and I hate to wish injury on anybody. I'm not wishing it. I'm just saying it does happen every single year. A quarterback gets hurt in the first 3 weeks, and it's like, that was the Super Bowl team. Now the season's shot. It happened with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow last year, and neither of those teams really were able to recover. They both missed the playoffs. It's so important to be able to have a quarterback to replace your guy if he gets hurt. I think Aaron Rodgers is purely in Pittsburgh right now as a little handshake, hoo-ha, a little wank-wank, jomp with Mike McCarthy and the Steelers. Be like, hey, I'm going to play football for you guys, but I want to play for a contender. It's my last season. So when the time comes, please trade me to that team that's asking. And they're going to do it. I think there's a good opportunity that we see Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs next year, but not for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think there's a really, really good chance that Aaron Rodgers does not finish the season as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I think it'd be good for him. I would hate to see his last season just be wasted away on like a mediocre 5-12 team and that misses the playoffs. And he's like, all right, cool, bye. Sail off into retirement. I can almost guarantee his last game will not be with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they have Nussmeier. There we go. The Chiefs have Nussmeier. There you go, bro. We forgot about Nussmeier. How could we? How could I forget about Grant Nussmeier, bro? I'm so excited about college football, dude. I think I might be more excited about college football than I am about the NFL. Well, first of all, it comes faster. Pause. It shows up quicker. It's earlier in the schedule, so it's like the next thing up is college football. I'm excited about that. I'm just excited for Saturdays, dude. I'm excited to flip on my TV. I usually set an alarm for like 9 a.m. That's when the games start at 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Kind of tough. I usually set my alarm for like 10, right? And so when I wake up, it's like halftime of Big Noon Kickoff. It's like, it's Iowa and Penn State, and it's 3-7, and it's halftime, and I'm like, here we go. I get a little bit of coffee, read my Bible, do a little bit of journaling, and just watch some football and just slowly drift away into my couch and just sit there and supplant myself like the bug that I am, absorbing the football. I'm like a moth around a light, bro, when football is on. I am there for it. I'm buzzing, dude. I'm here to watch the game. It's now 3-3 as Arizona was able to scrap a run in the bottom of the fourth. It's now top 5. Merrill Kelly's still out there pitching good back, pitching well. I'm more excited for OFL Season 1. Luis Arias flies out. Let's check these out from Oreo the Cat. These are the team names for the Oreo Football League that he is starting in Madden. Unfortunately, Oreo, I deleted Madden 26 last night. Literally, or 2 nights ago. And so, just passed my social studies final with 96%. Let's go, brother. I'm out here. I'm so down to celebrate grades, dog. Getting good grades is hard to do. I'm stoked for Oreo the Cat. I'm stoked for you, brother. Where is it? Is it in Madden? All right. In case you guys want to join, Oreo the Cat has made his own Madden 26 Fantasy Football League. It's not a bad band in the college football one either. It's called the OFL. There are 0 real teams in it, and there will be a fantasy draft. I would like to do the draft tonight, but I need people tonight. Slade said, I'm down. The different teams are the Axers. Okay. Those are guys who throw axes. Love it. The Bananas, Savannahs. The Knights. That was my my high school team was the Knights. We are loyal Knights of Foothill. Raise our colors black and gold. The Knights and the Woodland Knights. There might be a bit of a rivalry here between the Knights and the Woodland Knights. The Dire Wolves, we're getting straight got. Lightning Owls is solid. Nighthawks is dope. Stallions, the Depths. I love this. We do a lot of depth talk on TBWZ, widescreen radio. We do depth talk, in-depth talk. In-depth depth talk with your host, Zeke Vini. The Vultures is good. Sharks is good. The Squirrels, only one I don't like. Red Raiders, Texas Tech. Ravens, the Orbit. Orbit is kind of hard, dude. The Water Buffaloes, love it. Slade is the Wildcats, okay. The Blue Jays, I like it for the NFL. The Mountaineers is fun. The Beats is great. Just the Beats. Rafael Devers off the wall. It'll be a 2-out double for Rafael Devers. He is on my fantasy team. The Desperados, the Eagles, the White Wolves. The Bobbies is hilarious. Bunch of dudes named Bob. Bobby Okereke, got to be on that team. The Flight, the Swords, the Hounds. The Neon Thunders. I mean, the Z is not cool here. I think just Neon Thunder would be cooler. Some have the same names as real teams, but aren't. I'll update this as we get more members. Unbelievable stuff. Wow. 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 If you guys are not doing anything, you do want to show up for the OFL and be a part of this thing. It's the Ravens, but not the Ravens. Oh. Got you. Got you. I think I remember what you were saying. If you want to join Oreo's Football League, join our Discord. Take Back with Zach. If you hop over on Twitch and you ask for a link to the Discord, or if you pop over in the YouTube chat, Oreo the Cat or I will send you a link to said Discord so you can be a part of this thing and hang out with us off show hours. I'm going to be going live right now on TikTok, and those heathens over there are going to be nasty and mean and rude. We're going to open up the phone lines once we do that, and we're going to start taking calls and talking balls. But before that, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. See you guys on the other side. I yelled so loud at whoever was doing the prank calls, and I don't regret it one bit. It was maybe the funniest thing I've ever done, and I was recording it for like the fantasy football group, and so they saw that video, and that video does exist. I was recording it, so I can put it out there, but I was yelling so loud. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, at the top of my L's. My lunch was full. My lunch was full of breath. It was so much chaos because I had all the prank calls coming in, so I don't know who did that. I'm furious. At the same time, the Twitch people don't realize this, but I had all of these random YouTube, and maybe if Jen was probably still there, so she might have seen all the messages on YouTube. There were all these random dudes messaging on YouTube, like kind of an aggressive amount. And I was so confused because I've never really had a bunch of people popping off in the YouTube before. So I was just confused. It's like, why are there people in the YouTube popping off? Like, what's going on? What is happening there? And so I don't know what that was, but it felt like there were bots. It felt like I had bots in the YouTube chat. And then I had prank calls happening. So combine that with the general frustration of having the two guys just talking over each other in an argument over the phone. It was just a lot to handle. It was a lot to handle, and I blew up, and I exploded. And I think it might have been the funniest thing I've ever done. I think the lesson here is I need to explode more. I need to blow up. I need to be so frustrated by what's happening around me that I scream and yell at the top of my lungs. I need to freak out. Freak out! Shams Charania, San Antonio Spurs star De'Aaron Fox plans to make his season day. Oh, it went away. I need to freak out. And so what am I going to do today to freak out? First of all, I'm going to edit the stream. I'm going to go into just chatting. Okay. So we've moved to just chatting. Is that going to do anything for us today? I don't know. That's not for me to decide. But the end of that stream was so chaotic and it was such a mess. And today, even more chaos is happening in the fantasy football group. It's unbelievable how terrible these people are. I'm surrounded on all fronts by like actually bad people. So, I mean, there's a few good ones, but there's not even, okay, most of the league is good. There's one person in there that is trying to make the league crumble from within. One of them is like absolutely loves. I don't want to be. One of them is very racist. Incredibly racist. And the guys who are nice to me don't say it in the chat. The guys who are mean to me are very vocal about it. But the guys who are nice to me don't defend me in the chat. They just let it happen. And they text me on the side like, hey, you're awesome. I need to do something about it. I need to figure out a way. I might be leaving the fantasy football group is all I'm saying. At this point in my life, I have too much positivity around me in certain categories. There's literally like two categories in my life that are holding me back and remaining unpositive forces in my life. And one of them is this fantasy football group that I'm a part of. It causes me on a day where I want to talk about mental health, it causes me so much frustration and anger. How did that happen? I didn't press anything. What was that? Oh, L? Oh, dude. Oh my gosh, I just realized I can create keyboard binds. Wow. Okay, Chank Slam is C. Bro! Oh my gosh. I just realized I could take the soundboard and put it onto my keyboard. This made life so much easier. This made life so much easier. Okay, so PV, there's another one that just happened. This is M for March Madness. This is D for Daddy Chill. And then B for bruh. Okay. So now, wait, even if I'm typing, though, in YouTube... All right. It seemed like a good idea at the time. That was the worst start to a sentence ever. Let's go live on TikTok. It seemed like a good idea at the time to do those keyboard binds, but then what I realized is every time I was typing things out, they were just popping off. They were just popping off whenever, and it was terrible. We're now live on TikTok to talk ball and take calls, which means the phone lines on the TBW hotline are officially open. Just wait a little bit, though. Wait a little bit. Let me kind of pump it. Let me kind of get things going. If there's anybody in the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat that wants to call into the show, please drop your area code in your in the chat so I know to take you guys first. But I do want to just pause a little bit on the phone calls to let some people kind of come in and warm up a little bit on this one. We're going to take calls in just a minute, brother. Spurs versus Knicks NBA Cup rematch, said Joe the Sandman. Tri-State, I got you, bro. Let's just bring some people in and let them get going here before we pop off too hard. Fellas, a little bit on what's happening on today's show. The Spurs and the Thunder play tonight. Let me restart a little bit, guys. We're going to set up this show a little bit. Whoever's that 914 number, Tri-State, Will, wait a little bit. Pump the brakes, brother. Yes, the conference finals have... I'm gonna block your number. Will, I'm going to block your number if you keep calling. Stop. The conference finals games have arrived on our doorstep like a stork with a baby, delivering joy, excitement, fear, and envy as the final four teams go head-to-head in what is shaping up to be one of the greatest conference finals in NBA history. Brother, we have two incredible playoff series right now happening before our very eyes, and I am absolutely in love with all of the ball that is being shown our way. The Spurs and the Thunder play tonight after the double OT thriller and truly asinine 41.22 rebound game from the Flying Frenchman, the Eiffel Tower, the Baguette and Taggett, the Move It or Louvre It, the alien Victor Wembanyama. But, of course, we begin today's show talking about last night's epic collapse in the history of basketball. One of the worst playoff performances I've seen from a team in a fourth quarter. It was 93-71 with 8 minutes left in the fourth. The Knicks finished the game on a 44-11 run to force overtime and ultimately win the game by double digits. The Cavs scored 11 points in the last 13 minutes of the game. They had a 22-point lead with 8 minutes left in the game. You had no answers on offense, on the offensive end, as everyone seemed to just be chucking up threes while Spider Mitchell was getting clamped by Landry Shamet. Donovan Mitchell was 1 for 6 in the fourth. James Harden was 1 for 7. Your star guards went a combined 2 for 13 in the most clutch situation of the entire season, all because they could not shake the hounding defense from Landry Shamet. I rewatched the fourth quarter this morning. I was shocked, to say the least. Shocked that James Harden continued to play in that basketball game. This is going to sound crazy, but if you literally put Keon Ellis instead of James Harden, I think you win the game by double digits. I'm not even joking. You kept Harden in for his presence on offense. When he's not producing offensively, there's no point in keeping it in because he's just a defensive liability. Oh my gosh. Bases clearing double from Perdomo at 6'3" Diamondbacks. Ellis is so mid though, but he plays good defense. That's what I'm saying. The entire fourth quarter, whoever Harden was guarding would go to the top of the key, set a pick for Jalen Brunson. They would switch, and then Brunson would just cook James Harden all the way to the hole. He had no answers for him. He couldn't even stay in front of Jalen Brunson. He also played 42 minutes of that basketball game last night, which I know it went to overtime, and he played all of that, but still, 37 minutes in regulation. That's a 40-year-old man darn near. That is too much basketball for James Harden. How about them Spurs? I told you. Elias is so... Oh, you already said that. It was one of the biggest collapses I've seen in basketball. It makes me sick to my stomach for Cavaliers fans, having to wake up this morning knowing that you should be 3 games away from the NBA Finals. Your coach, Kenny Atkinson, completely let you down. And after the game, Kenny Atkinson said, yeah, we got a little bit unlucky towards the end. Unlucky? What? Unlucky?
Huh?
What? That's not unlucky. That's bad. That is bad coaching through and through. The reason you're sitting here today 0-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals is because you didn't take James Harden out. Because you had no answer for the Jalen Brunson ISO. You had 2 timeouts in your back pocket during that entire 44-11 run. You had 2 timeouts sitting there, and you refused to use them. How could you not kill the momentum, call a timeout, switch James Harden out, get someone else in who's a little more defensive-minded? Max Strus was on the bench just sitting there. It was such an unbelievable collapse by the Cavs, and we're going to talk about it a lot today. In addition to that, I really want to discuss the idea of Victor Wembanyama potentially being bad for the game of basketball. A lot of people were arguing yesterday, hey, Victor Wembanyama is already the GOAT. He's already better than Jordan. He's already better than LeBron. And I was like, hey, pump the brakes a little bit. But then a guy from the Dan Le Batard show, Jeremy Taché, made a great point. He's like, 2 years ago, everyone was ready to claim Shohei Ohtani as the best baseball player of all time for what he does on both ends of the floor. We were quick to say with Shohei Ohtani, like, yeah, he might be the greatest player of all time. Victor Wembanyama is sitting here at the age of 22, and it's like it's kind of hard to argue that he is not going to go down as the GOAT, dude. Given the fact that he has a decade to win championships with this team, given the fact that he's 5 inches taller than everyone on the floor, and can shoot the three, and can guard 2 people at once, and can block 5 shots a game, bro, the idea that Victor Wembanyama is bad for the game, it's like, I kind of hear it. Even to the point where yesterday, when I was consuming all the sports content that I could possibly get my hands on, all over the place, you could hear a slight undertone of people feeling bad for the Thunder. Because you're like, well, what can you do? It seems like an unpenetrable force right now. What the Spurs and OKC are doing in the West, as a fan of a team in the Western Conference, I am legit hopeless for the next 10 years of my life. I do not see a situation where it's not the Spurs and the Thunder every single year. Like you watch what OKC does. It's not just because of the shade, it's because of the development of the team. Bad for the game for being good. Levi, that's kind of the thought. This is a joke, LOL. He's amazing for the game. Also, GOAT shouts at 22 is pointless. I don't think it's pointless. I think people saying he's bad for the game is just because he's going to be such a dominant force. There's going to be nothing that we could do. What is up, brother? You are the first caller on today's TBWZ. What's your name and where are you calling in from?
Oh, what's up, man? From New York.
I can't hear you.
What up?
I still can't hear you. Are you far away from your phone or something?
A little better?
Yeah, where were you? What were you doing? All right. What is up, brother? You are the first caller on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Please mute the stream in the background, keep it clean, and let the people know your name and where you're calling in from. 5, 4, 3, 2, hung up. Maybe this guy will answer. Is this Will from New York?
Si, senor.
Will from New York coming in speaking some Spanish. Hola, amigo. How are you doing today after that huge win last night from the New York Knicks?
It was a beautiful performance. You know, the Cavs kind of bobbled it, ain't gonna lie.
Why are you so far away from your phone?
What? I'm right next to it.
Are you on speakerphone?
I just have headphones in right now.
We can't hear you very well at all.
Maybe it's on your end. Because you have a couple people just going. I'm holding the phone in my hand.
All right, brother, you're calling into the show. Will, sorry about the back and forth there. What were the emotions like when you were down 22 with 8 minutes left? Did you think the game was over?
No, because this team has been proving everyone wrong all year. People think when they're going to come into the series against the Knicks, they think, and rightly so, they've been better teams than the Knicks since the regular season. But I think this Knicks team has just had some kind of playoff magic that's been going so well for them.
Yeah, Will, I love you, brother. You know I do deep down. We cannot hear you at all. It is so muffled. I'm going to take another call. If it seems like it's on my end, I'll do a fix. But brother, we'll talk to you soon, okay, Will? I'm tough right now. Let's see if this guy can talk on the phone. Alex from Colorado, what is up, brother?
What's up, Zach? Hey, so I haven't called you in a couple of days. I've been busy.
There we go, dude. It's finals are happening. It's all good. I understand. Now we can absolutely hear you. Brother Alex, you're calling into the show. I had a full take today on is Wemby good or bad for the game of basketball? And as a fan of a team in the Western Conference, he's bad for the game.
I would say yeah, but, I mean, the Nuggets can beat him. I mean, we beat him 3 times this year. So, I mean, it's really hard to beat Victor Wembanyama. I was so happy. I think I lost my voice. From that game one I watched, man. It was so crazy. I was so happy for the Spurs. I just wanted the Thunder to lose a game. I prayed to God that they lose a game, and God answered my prayers. Jesus is the king, man.
Jesus is king. Man. The Thunder lost a playoff game. Man, I watched them play, and they did look a little bit rusty. They were not shooting all of their shots. No one could hit. Yep. Their star player was not very good, and they only lost the game by 5 points in double overtime. You got to think the Thunder are still the better basketball team, no?
I mean, yeah, I think the one thing that hurt the Spurs the most, they had this is why I kept screaming on TV. They had 2 opportunities to get a game-winning shot off. I understand the second one was hard with 0.8 seconds, But the
Okay.
one where Chet Holmgren blocked the shot of Victor Wembanyama, I thought
at the
that
end of
was
regulation.
crazy.
That was at the end of regulation, right?
Yeah, it was. I thought that was crazy. I mean, Holmgren came out of like nowhere. Swats Wemby. I thought that was cool. And then I think it's San Antonio. They need Fox to come back. I'm not sure if he's coming back for game 2 or not. But they need him to come back. I think that's where they need the playoffs because they caused, I think, over like 25 turnovers in that game. That was too many. But SGA had over 5 turnovers. There was just too many turnovers in that game.
It was a sloppy basketball game from both teams. I saw a Thunder team that played maybe the worst basketball game I've ever seen them play in 2 years, and it still went to double OT. I think that team is going to be fine. I have them evening the series tonight. What do you have tonight, Alex?
I think I do have the Thunder evening the series tonight just because the way I think the Thunder are going to bounce their way back.
Yeah.
I think SGA and Holmgren, they're going to both combine, I think, for like maybe – I think Holmgren's going to go out tonight. I think SGA, I'm not sure. He hasn't been so hot this playoffs.
Yeah.
Just the last game, he was decent, but I mean, I think he's going to bounce back with less turnovers, show that who is really the true MVP, maybe. But I do have the Thunder winning this one. But game 3, I have San Antonio winning that one.
I love it. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth series, like you said. It's just watching Victor Wembanyama play basketball at the age of 22. He's 6 inches taller than everyone on the floor. He can shoot threes. He can handle. He cares so much. I literally see, like, the sports media world is already kind of shifting to this idea of, like, Wemby's a cheat code. It's unfair. How long until he's the most hated player in the NBA?
Probably, like, I don't know, until SGA stops winning MVPs. I think that's when Wemby will be the most hated guy. So I'd say like a year or 2. I think that's when it's going to happen. And maybe until San Antonio wins their first championship, which, again, that could be this year or next year. And I think that's when Wemby will be hated. I mean, right now I respect Victor Wembanyama in his game. I mean, I think it is doable to stop him. You're going to have to put 2 big guys on him. You're going to have to put your backup center, your starting center on him. That's how you have to stop Victor Wembanyama. But, yeah, are you going in the hockey playoffs?
A little bit. I love that you respect Victor Wembanyama so much you can't even pronounce his name right. Alex.
Victor Wembanyama.
Close. I think you're missing an M. The hockey playoffs have started. Can you give us 1 minute on the conference finals?
Yeah, so the Avalanche Golden Knights, they played tonight. I'm excited for that one, except the Avs, Cale Makar, everybody knows, developing news happened a couple hours ago. He's out for tonight. That's going to affect the Avs. I'm excited for that series. I mean, holy cow, I think the Avs are probably going to win the Cup just because the way things are lining up for them.
Yeah.
They lose the Cup this year. I don't know what's going to happen. They have to win the Cup this year. That's pretty much what the whole front office goal and everything is, because then we're just cooked with the draft picks that we have. We don't have a first rounder till like 2030, but that's what the Cronkies like to do with their front office. We don't get any draft picks for the future, but I'm very excited for tonight, and I can't watch the game tonight because I have to cover my high school. Our girls soccer team, they made the state championship. We're ranked 20th in the country.
Wow.
And did you know Mallory Pugh? She went to my high school back in like 2010.
All right.
And same with her younger sister. So our Mount Vista, in our 25 years of existence, we're trying to win our 6th big championship tonight. And then, and then I got to do play-by-play for radio for NFHS Network for Baseball Friday for Colorado Baseball.
Unbelievable, Alex. You're a busy man covering the state of Colorado, the hoops, the basketball, the hockey, everything in between, and, of course, women's soccer. Alex, you're the absolute man, bro. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.
Yeah, God bless. Go Avalanche.
Go Avs. For people who are new to the show, what's up? This is TBWZ Widescreen Radio. All you do is you call into the show. The number's 213-352-5216. And then when I take a call, hope that it's you, brother. But spamming calls does not really do much. Cooper with the follow and Sean with the follow. Thank you guys so much. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen. What is happening? Who was that I just took? This guy blocked. Someone just got their phone number absolutely blocked. Oreo trying to call in. We'll take you in a little bit, brother, because I know what you want to talk about. I want to take some new people on this show. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? What's up, XD?
Knicks in 4.
What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. You there? You think OKC going to win 5 games in a row? Zayroy, that's absolutely impossible. That'd be sick, though. Could you imagine? What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling in from?
Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling in from?
I'm Declan Lafferty. I'm calling from New York.
First of all, make sure you mute the stream in the back because we can hear it bleeding through. Just talk to me on the phone so there's no latency issue. Also, do not give your first and last name out on a sports radio show live on TikTok. But Declan, all right, he hung up. This show is off to a horrible, horrible start today. OKC is not winning, bro. Jay, why do you say that? Why do you think they're not winning anything? It's kind of crazy. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling from?
What's up, man? My name's Caleb. I'm calling from Iowa.
Caleb calling in from Iowa. Have you called into the show before, brother?
No, sir.
All right, all I ask is that you do not cuss or say anything nasty because I'll get in trouble for it. But Caleb, you're calling into the show. What do you want to talk about today, bro?
I was just wondering why the OKC Thunder would put Caruso on Vic.
That was the best thing that they had going for them defensively. I think Hartenstein was okay on Victor, but Caruso played really, really, really good defense against Victor Wembanyama. It's so glaringly obviously that like Chet cannot handle Victor Wembanyama. And I think if OKC wants to have success in this series, Chet needs to be able to step up and guard Vic.
Okay, I guess that was my question then. Why didn't they put Chet? But yeah, that makes sense then because
I just think
they have a pass together in France and whatnot.
Yeah, they have a pass together, and we have seen Chet play good defense on Victor Wembanyama. What it really felt like was Coach Dagnall was almost like playing with his food. Like he was trying a bunch of different lineups and a bunch of different matchups to see what would work. But ultimately, my big takeaway was the Thunder shot horribly. Their MVP was really bad. The whole team around them did not play great at all on offense, and they still went to double overtime with the Spurs. I personally think the Thunder are going to be fine and going to win tonight. What do you have for tonight's game, Caleb?
I think the Thunder come back tonight and win it, but I think once again the Spurs will cover.
We might get some of that. We don't do much of that kind of stuff around here because imagine if you were a Cavs person last night, a Cavs +7 guy absolutely going home crying. Caleb, brother, unbelievable stuff. Thanks for calling the show. God bless. We'll talk soon.
All right, have a good one.
Peace. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I'm calling in from Colorado.
Jeffrey from Colorado. I assume you are old enough to call into the show. What do you got for us today, brother?
I'm thinking that I got the Knicks over the Spurs in 5 in the championship.
Can we talk about the conference finals before we get to the actual finals?
So first I'm thinking like Donovan Mitchell's gonna keep selling. I mean, he doesn't really do much.
Doesn't really do much?
Jalen Brunson is the GOAT.
What? Your voice just got way deeper. You went through puberty in 2 seconds.
Sorry, that was my older brother.
Wow, that was like rapid fire puberty. Congratulations, brother. You're now full of hair. So you saw one basketball game and you were like, yeah, Spurs are winning. And you saw another basketball game, you're like, yeah, Knicks are winning. Do you think there's no option that the Cavs, a team that's undefeated at home in the playoffs, and no option for the Thunder, that team that's only won 20 times in the past calendar year? They have no shot.
Do the Cavs have Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, that's a very good point, bro. I forgot. Jalen Brunson is the GOAT, as you just said. And you got a lot older, Jeffrey. There's no shot at all for Cleveland?
No shot. I think
you can't imagine a world at all?
After the game last night, they're demoralized. They're done. You just let up 20. You let the other team come down. Back from 22 down, 7:40 to go in sports. You've heard it all morning on ESPN, SportsCenter, whatever. They're not coming back from this. They're done. They're going to get their asses kicked.
No cussing on the show, please. No cussing on the show, please. No cussing on the show, please.
They're going to get their booties whacked.
I think there's a world where you could like kind of have a takeaway that you were pretty dominant for 3/4 of that game. In the fourth quarter, you kind of just fell asleep at the wheel. I would argue if Kenny Atkinson took James Harden out of the game and put Keon Ellison on Jalen Brunson, they probably would have won that game. It felt like they were like 1 or 2 mistakes away from actually winning it.
Yeah, well, to think about it, the Knicks didn't play for 9 days. Rust is obviously going to happen.
you didn't play for 9 days. You're sitting on your couch watching. And then on the flip side, the Cavs, who just played a Game 7 2 days ago, they ran out of gas. It was obvious. Fourth quarter, they ran out of gas. Donovan Mitchell was taken out of the game by Landry Shamet with 4 minutes to go in regulation, and he was done. He was toast. His legs were cooked. 40 minutes plus after a 7-game series in round 1, a 7-game series in round 2. He gassed out in the fourth quarter, as did almost the whole Cavs roster. They couldn't make a shot. The Knicks finally got their legs under them after sitting there 9 days. They got the rust off, and they kicked their butt in the last, 15 minutes of the game.
Jeffrey's older brother, I'm not even joking, that was one of the best calls we've ever had. You were concise, you were clear, you came in with a point, you stuck to it, you did not waver in your confidence. I'm telling you, brother, I love when people call into the show with energy like you have. God bless you and your brother. We'll talk to you again soon, okay, bro? Call back whenever you want.
Have a good one.
Peace. That was awesome. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, come in with confidence and points like that. Dude had it all in his head. His little brother called, and he's like, and he's like, give me the phone, bro. Give me the phone. I have things to say. I absolutely love that. That guy can call in whenever he wants. What is up, my brother Oreo the cat calling in on TBWZ? What do you got for us today, bro?
That people are still doubting the Spurs. Like I've seen people say. I mean, you even you're still saying that you're taking the Thunder as the better team.
Yeah.
And I will say it's a little worrying that Wemby had to have a 40-20 game for us to win.
In double overtime.
In double overtime. But I think with the playmaking and not the amount of turnovers with Aaron Fox, I think we can still get it done. A win on the road is huge because, it's huge. I didn't think we were going to win. I said that last night. I didn't think we were going to win a single one at home.
It was huge for the team to get that road win. Thank you for the follow, Sebas. It was a massive win for that team on the road. My one thing that does slightly worry me is, like, it took a 41.22 rebound, a million block game from Wemby, and it's a 2 overtime game. On the flip side, the Thunder have never shot that bad in a playoff game in my entire life, and SGA had the worst game he's had in the past 3 seasons, and it still went to double OT. Like, if they just play slightly better, I think they win that game. But, bro, if Wemby goes out and plays hero ball every night, you guys are unstoppable.
Well, yeah, I think if he goes out and plays like he did, but also we were so badly missing De'Aaron Fox's scoring. Wemby
his scoring or more his offensive handling?
It's his scoring. He's one of the top scorers on the team. He's not the top because I think Wemby scores the most, but his playmaking and the less turnovers than Dylan Harper had. Oh my gosh! Also Dylan Harper. I was so happy with Dylan Harper.
The biggest reason you guys won is because of the defensive game plan, okay? And it was SGA at the top of the key every single time. When you guys switched to zone, the whole game was dribble, drive, kick, and a bricked 3. So if you're going to continue to play that kind of defense on SGA, that is going to win you the series in probably 5 games. But you got to think maybe there's going to be an adjustment from Dagnaw. I've never seen him really have to make an adjustment with this team, who's kind of cruised the past 2 years, and now Wemby's standing their way, and it doesn't look like he's moving, bro. I still have the Thunder winning the series, in my opinion. I had it in 5 in my predictions. I'm probably going to move that to 6 or 7. Pause. But where are you at with this series? Do you think it is Spurs in 6 or Spurs in 5?
It's Spurs in 5. We're going to probably lose tonight.
And then win 3 in a row?
Yeah, we're going to win 3 in a row. I don't think we win tonight just because, Thunder shoot a little better in OKC. Yeah. But they are going to be taken over by the Spurs environment. We're going to win both those games and then go back to OKC.
Oreo, before you go, Oreo's one of our mods in our Twitch chat. He's starting a fantasy Madden 26 league. If you guys want to join our Discord and hop over in the Twitch chat, you can get signed up for that. You are also our resident Spurs fan, Oreo. Before you go, in a minute or less, is Victor Wembanyama bad for the game of basketball?
He is not bad for the game of basketball. I mean, if we're calling Victor Wembanyama bad for the game of basketball, then we have to call Curry, LeBron, every good player ever bad for the game of basketball just because of them being because they were so dominant for so long. And that
Oreo, that is such a great take, bro. It was concise. It was clear. You spoke with confidence. Oreo, I love you, brother. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Yep.
That is my guy, Oreo the cat, brother. Thunder in 5, please stop this blasphemy. Do you know what blasphemy is? Clearly, you don't have a good vocabulary, brother. Let's work on our vocab a little bit today, guys. Let's say good words. Wemby is a foot taller than. Yeah, that's why it's bad for the game, because he's so much taller than everybody. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I'm Jason. I'm calling in from Rhode Island.
Jason from Rhode Island. Have you called into the show before, bro?
No, this is my first time.
Awesome, bro. The only rule is to keep it clean and bring the energy. What do you got for us today, bro?
So, in the East Conference Finals,
yeah,
I had the Knicks winning in 6, and the West Conference Finals, I have the Spurs winning in 7.
You said you have the Knicks in 6?
Yes.
Bro, that game last night was unbelievable. I thought it was a 22-point lead with 8 minutes left, and the Cavs just completely choked. We had an awesome caller from Colorado say, like, after that, the Knicks the Cavs are going to be absolutely demoralized. He doesn't see them winning another game. I struggle to even see how the Cavs could win a game after what happened last night, dude.
I mean, if you look in the last series, James Harden went completely clutch.
Yeah.
In the Game 7 and Game 6 against Pistons. I think he could do it again, but I don't think he can get it finished. Coming to defensively, he's gonna score on the defense more often. And if you look at Jalen Brunson, he had 38, and he shot terrible from 3. So I don't know what that can do against the Spurs since they have Wemby.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing, Jason, and I assume you've been watching the entire playoffs. The Cavaliers have been such a confusing team, because one game I'm like, dude, they're the worst team in basketball. They suck. And then another game I'm like, wow, they're actually the best team in basketball. They're so good. I just think they're so up and down that, like, we're so quick as sports fans to judge after one game. I still do think Cleveland has, like, a very, very good roster. The trouble is, like, New York clearly has more depth than Cleveland, and for me, depth is what's going to win this thing for the Knicks.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. The Knicks have multiple weapons. When it comes to Bridges, OG Anunoby can drop 30. I mean, like, if Jalen Brunson even gets hurt, I think they could still bring series out with OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges' defense, even Cat. Cat can drop 30 and 20 at times. Like, this is an amazing team.
Dude, it's wild that we didn't even know Cat's role in this offense like a month ago. And now it's like so clear and obvious that this is the best team in the Eastern Conference. It's unbelievable stuff, brother. We have a game tonight, Jason. I think I have the Thunder winning this one tonight at home in a bounce-back game. What do you have tonight?
I have the Spurs. Me personally, I think the Spurs are going to bring out the whole series. I feel like OKC, most of Shea's points are usually from driving. He has the highest driving percentage in the league.
True.
With Wemby in the paint, he has the most blocks ever in a playoff game. He's the anonymous defensive player of the year. I feel like nobody can score on him. And he feels like he's playing a little bit differently against the playoffs against Thunder. He feels like he should have got the MVP. Shet beat him a few years ago in the 19U Olympics. He obviously has that out for him. It's just like everyone's 3-point percentage has been off. Last game, everybody was playing bad. I saw what you said about Shea playing bad, but you got to look at the Spurs team. Everyone played bad on the Spurs team but Wemby. Stephen Castle, 11 turnovers. Dylan Harper shot 1 for 7, and they had Darren Fox out. It's just not one player. It's the whole team that's playing bad, and Wemby made them out. Imagine that whole Spurs team playing good. I feel like they could take that out in 6 or 5.
Jason, literally, bro, unbelievable stuff, man. You came in with confidence. You came in with concise takes. You said your point, and you said it with confidence. Great, great, great call, brother. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Call back whenever you want.
All right. Have a good day.
Peace. That was awesome. That was a great call from Jason. And he made a great point. I was talking about how bad the Thunder played in game 1. I'm like, there's no shot they play that bad again. The Spurs played pretty bad as well, outside of Victor Wembanyama. If it's Victor Wembanyama hero ball the entire series, they're not going to win another game, okay? The rest of the Spurs do need to step up, and Jason's point is pretty valid. He's like, they played that bad. There's no way they play that bad again, and if they play all good together like a team, I think they're going to have a good chance at winning this series. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Spencer, and I'm from Freehold.
Spencer from, give me the state, brother.
New Jersey.
Spencer from New Jersey, my man. I had this take on TikTok a while ago that kind of went slightly viral. There are people out there who are Mets Jets and Nets fans. Are you one of those people?
No.
Who do you like? Who are you a fan of?
I'm a Knicks and a Giants fan.
Knicks and Giants, not too bad, brother. You're calling into the show. What'd you have for us today, Spencer?
I don't think the Spurs can win like the whole series because Wemby is the only one doing anything out there. The whole team's not doing anything. If Wemby keeps playing that and the Spurs are not playing all together, the Thunder could win it all.
I think it's a good take, man. I really do. Do you think that Wemby, given his height advantage over everyone else and his dominance, do you think he's actually going to be bad for the league?
No, because it'll make have more competition against him.
Yeah, more competition going that way in the Western Conference. Bro, Spencer, you got to be lucky to be a fan of a team in the East, because the East seems like a conference where pretty much anyone can win it if you put a squad together. In the Western Conference, it seems like it's going to be the Thunder or the Spurs every single year, bro. How do you feel about that over the next decade, these two teams going at it?
It feels good because every year we have a chance to make the finals and maybe even win it all.
Is this the year for the Knicks? Are they able to get it done this year and win the finals?
I think if they all play together and not limit the turnovers, they can.
Spencer, unbelievable stuff. Thanks for calling in the show and following. God bless. We'll talk soon, bro.
See ya.
Peace. If you guys do not follow, it does help me out if you do, but that's all I'm gonna do for begging for takes or begging for follows. I'm not doing that. 1,400 likes. Thank you for that too, guys. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name's Cooper, and I'm from Georgia.
Cooper from Georgia. Absolutely love to hear it, brother. I had a take earlier on the show about the fact that if I'm a star in the Western Conference, I'm going to go east as quickly as possible. I think that Anthony Edwards is going to go to the Hawks as soon as he possibly can.
Unfortunately, yes, because it's kind of crazy. I am from Georgia and all, but I am a Boston Celtics fan.
Wow, so, Boston Celtics. A lot of people picked you guys to win the East. Now,
I was in tears.
I know you lost to Philly, but can I just get a little bit of arrogant Boston fan? You would have beat both of these teams that are in the finals, right?
Oh, of course. Let's just clarify. Boston, we own the Knicks just like the Atlanta Hawks own the Knicks.
Yeah.
Let's just make that very clear, and we're the same with the Cavs because we beat the Cavs the past almost every other series other than this one because they didn't meet us.
You guys got unlucky because Joel Embiid was perfectly rested from his appendix surgery, and you got like a healthy Joel Embiid, and no one else is going to get that.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate, and us losing Jason Tatum in the biggest game of the series, and then we just fall apart from there. It doesn't help that we're the most shooting team in the league, and we just can't hit shots.
Yeah, live or die by the three, and this year you guys died by it. I am fascinated by the Celtics offseason and what they're going to do. But Cooper, you called into the show. What do you want to talk about today?
I wanted to talk about the fact that the finals is actually going on as we speak with this Western Conference Finals, because I'm sorry to all the Knicks fans and all the Cavs fans, you're playing for second place.
No,
you're playing for second place.
You're not sorry.
Oh, I obviously to the Knicks fans, I'm not sorry. To the Cavs fans, I am sorry, because I actually have some respect for Harden.
I have respect for Cavaliers fans in general, bro. That was a tough organization. It's a tough, gritty town. The worst part about this whole thing for me is the fact that the Knicks fans have woken up this morning. Instead of having hearts full of pain and suffering, they're streaking through Central Park screaming "Bing Bong." It's slowly crawling up. It's slowly like becoming one of my least favorite fan bases in America right now.
Oh, I completely agree. Spike can keep sitting on that bench and watching his team get second place, maybe fifth place maybe sometimes, but I don't see the Knicks. Unfortunately, I also don't see the Cavs even winning a championship this year with the fact that even OKC can't stop Wemby. How do you expect after all that center named Karl Anthony Towns to stop Wemby? After all that, I mean, Wemby, he's probably the most gritty player in the league. He deserved the MVP this year. I'm just going to say it. More than cliche, more than anything. And saying all about that series too, by the way.
So you have Spurs in 5 in that series. I was just going to get to that.
Oh,
is that just a Wemby dominance thing, or you think the Thunder are overrated?
I think the Thunder, they could run the Western Conference 100%, but I just don't see the fact that you're throwing Alex Caruso on Wemby. Yes, he did play a good defensive game, but he's still a foot smaller than Wembanyama.
Yeah.
You have Chet Holmgren that's a skeleton with skin on him, and you also have Hardenstein that can't play. So, I mean, who else are you going to have? Jalen Williams guard him, and now you're going to leave the entire floor open with all your star guards that you're going to have for the next 10 years.
Cooper, it's a great take. I love the shot at Knicks fans. 1 minute or less before you go, what are the Celtics offseason plans?
Unfortunately, I think they're going to get rid of Jaylen Brown. I think that's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to get rid of Jaylen Brown, maybe find another Robin to Jason Tatum. And I think we have the depth, but we could also use another depth piece for the inside because I don't think we have the bigs for that. And we need one more big. I think we're one big away from making another huge push to the finals.
Cooper, unbelievable stuff, bro. Thank you for following the show and calling in. God bless you, brother. We'll talk soon.
You have a great one.
Peace. Knicks fans are so mad at me for my take, bro. The arrogance and entitlement from Knicks fans this playoff run, they have skyrocketed into one of my most hated fan bases, along with the Patriots, Packers, Celtics, and Yankees fans. Sorry, Cooper. This is the first time in my life the Knicks have been legit title threats. Yet every single soft-brained, blue and orange-clad degenerate is parading around with their chest pumped so full of bravado. You would think this team is a dynasty going for their fourth in a row. They are one of the most illogical and arrogant fan bases in the world. They have become so accustomed to being bad that just the slightest sprinkle of success brings every fan to the streets to riot and scream like toddlers on a t-ball team. I think the only Knicks fan that deserves respect is Anne Hathaway because she's an absolute dime. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Nick from New York, and the Knicks will win the chip.
That's a weird name. Oh, Nick. You're Nick from New York. Of course you are, bro. What's up, Nick?
What's up?
Dude,
I think the Knicks are going to win the chip.
All right, so Nick, paint the picture last night. You're down 22 points with 8 minutes left in the game. Did you turn the TV off, or were you sitting there believing that your team could actually come back?
I mean, I was getting bad flashbacks from last year, game one, but it was like you get what I'm saying, right?
Game one of what?
Last year's Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay, you're getting flashbacks of that, like you guys were going to get blown out?
No, like the comeback.
The comeback. I actually don't know what you're talking about, Nick, but the
Knicks came back like the Pacers come back, so it was like I was getting flashbacks, but I was still happy that they were winning.
I'm just happy for you, brother, as a diehard Knicks fan. Now today, what is the feeling like in New York? Was the sun just shining a little bit brighter? Did it just smell a little bit better in the city? Less rats?
I mean, it was great. I saw people like running all over the place after that game because I was outside in the city after the game. It was insane.
It sounds like absolute scenes, brother. I love it, dude. I have the Knicks winning in 7, which now at this point seems a little bit tough given the fact the Cavaliers have no gas in the tank. What do you have this one? You have Knicks in 4, huh?
Honestly, we were so rusty to start. If you tuned in, we were so rusty to start. We couldn't hit a shot at the start. Then we got a little groove going. And then the Cavs just took it right from us. We were down 22 with 7:50 left, and there was just a spark. I don't know what it came from, but it was just a spark. Now we're in our rhythm. If they won that game, they might have had a chance.
Okay.
But we got in our rhythm after not playing since Mother's Day, and then let us come back. Now I think we keep that rhythm. We can take it in 5, maybe even sweep.
I absolutely love the confidence. Nick, you are the absolute man, brother. God bless you. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk soon.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Peace. The Cavs have already come back from being down 3-1 in this postseason. They have. That is very true, Oreo. I think that's another thing people aren't thinking about is the fact that this Cavs team has had a lot of resiliency. They've played some really, really good basketball. They obviously ran out of gas at the end of the game, but you expect a team to run out of gas when they've been playing so much as they have. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Please mute the stream in the background, keep it clean, and let the people know your name and where you're calling in from.
Let's go, man. Santa Barbara, California.
Wow, we got an SB man. Did you go to UCSB?
I do.
Nice. What can we call you?
Well, nah.
Can we call Barb?
Wait,
what can we call you? Like, do you have a name?
You're lagging. One more time? Oh, Sean. My name is Sean.
Sean from Santa Barbara, brother. One of the most beautiful places. You be partying on IV recently?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Bro,
I'm
I know
in
all
IV
about
right now.
I know all about that IV, dog. I'm a big fan of that area. But, brother, you're calling to the show. What you got for us today?
First of all, Wemby is great for the game. He has a lot of passion. He plays. He doesn't foul bait. He is great for the game.
I love it. I think one of the reasons he is good for the game is because the level of competition that he brings to it. Like, bro, him in the All-Star game, he was out there like ready to ball out and like ready to kill somebody. Having that as part of his game is one of the most impressive things for me. I think a lot of people are just going to get frustrated about the fact that he's so much taller than everyone. It feels like a cheat code out there.
Yeah, I do feel like people are hating on the Alex Caruso on Wemby.
Yeah, they are, dude. Alex Caruso's the man.
Yes. You got to get somebody, even though I'm a Kings fan. I'm a Spurs fan for the playoffs.
Okay, cool.
I feel like you do got to get somebody into his body. Nobody's going to be taller than him. Nobody's going to block his shot. You can't let him get there, and I think Alex Caruso was trying to do that by pushing him out of the paint and like getting into his body.
I think Alex Caruso was the heart and soul of that Thunder team. He was the only one who was able to score. He played unbelievable defense on Wemby. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan, so like I grew up with Alex Caruso as one of my guys, dude. To see him doing that to Wemby was absolutely hilarious. And even funnier was the fact that Chet was not able to do what Caruso was able to do.
Yeah. It seemed like Caruso was the only option to slow him down.
Yeah.
They had nobody else.
So, great stuff. So you have the Spurs beating the Thunder, and then you have them against the Knicks or the Cavs in the finals?
I got Spurs in 6. They win their home games. They lose the rest of the Thunder. They lose tonight. They lose the rest of the Thunder home games.
Yeah.
And then I got Knicks in 5. They're going to drop 1 in Cleveland, and then I think they win it at home.
And then they're going to get swept by the Spurs in the finals.
Oh, yeah. They're whipping with the Spurs.
Bro, Sean, thanks for calling in, bro. My Southern California brethren. Thanks for calling in. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace. Unbelievable stuff from Sean right there from Santa Barbara. No matter what, the West wins the title. All right, I want to talk about that real quick from Braden. Braden K with the great chat right there. Braden K bringing us in. What's up, Slade? People are overreacting to Game 1. The Knicks were expected to win because the win was flashy. They think it's all over. It's true, Slade. And it's New Yorkers. New Yorkers and overreacting 1-1. Thanks for the follow, Braden. He said, no matter what, the West wins the title. I've been hearing this a lot from people, and I think we thought that last year as well. And then the Pacers forced Game 7. Thanks, Mar. And would have probably won if Halliburton didn't get hurt. What I do think might happen, if this Spurs and Thunder series does go 7, thank you, Jay. If it does go 7, the Spurs and Thunder are going to beat the crap out of each other, dude. They are going to beat the crap out of each other. This is the hardest fought defensive playoff series I've seen in a long time, bro. We're not seeing that same level of defense in Cleveland and New York, not in the East. In the West, it's a hard-nosed defensive battle. That weighs on you. So if you go 7, whoever comes out of that, if the Knicks do it in 5, they are going to be more well-rested. They're going to be less injured. They're going to be a lot fresher. And I think they can use that to their advantage. I really, really do. I know we want to say like, oh, the finals is happening right now and whoever wins the West is going to win the whole thing. But, bro, pump the brakes, man. Pump the brakes. These teams are going to absolutely eviscerate each other. And then if you're getting a fresh, rested Knicks team, the Knicks have a really, really good shot of beating whoever comes to the finals. But you're going to have to get through a very, very tough team. Chet ain't getting a rebound. SI has Chet under half a rebound. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from, bro?
My name's Nigger. Fuck.
Spurs are winning easily? Wrong. Some T-girl sweet Carrie said wrong. Man had 24 rebounds last game. 24 rebounds was as many points as he had as SGA had whatever. What a bad person right there. Bad person. The funny part is about that guy who just called in, it has caller ID. And I have a buddy who's is in PI kind of. And so what I do after the show is I look up the number through this you could find anybody, bro. You just type in someone's phone number, it instantly gets you their phone bill and their first and last name and their address. So what I do is I usually find their phone number, find their name. If they're an adult and they're on LinkedIn, I usually just email their company and be like, hey, this guy said the N-word on my show. And I've it all recorded, so I just clip it and I send it to their company. Or if they're like a child, it's so easy to find their mom or their dad on Facebook, and I just email their mom and be like, hey, this is what your son said on my show. It's the funniest thing, and they always get in so much trouble or get fired. OMG, guys, give it up for my boy Bart.
What's down, Zach?
Bart, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good. What's down?
Bro, how you feeling about these conference finals game, bro? Basketball is so hot right now.
Dude, that was a double hitter, bro. I had watched the Spurs and OKC. That was the best game I ever watched. I thought when they went to the first overtime, I thought, before they went to OT, I thought the Spurs was gonna win. Then they went to OT. Then I thought the OKC was gonna win. Then Wemby had hit that 3 from the logo. And went to double OT. Then Wemby just took over and abducted Chet.
Bart, yeah, he got abducted by aliens. Bart, it was a logo 3 from Wemby, down 3 points to tie the game with 26 seconds left. When the ball left his hands, I was like, that's the worst shot anyone's ever taken. And then he hit it. I was blown away by it.
You know why he did good? You know why he did that?
Tell me.
The biggest rivalry in NBA in the NBA right now, Chet versus Chet and SGA and Chet and Wemby. I mean Chet and Wemby and Wemby and Shea, because Shea robbed Wemby for the MVP, and Chet Wemby always wanted revenge from Chet when he had got that MVP.
Yeah, you got that revenge game going. It does seem like Wemby is slightly petty, bro. Like he will not let things go past him, and if anyone slights him, it seems like he uses that against them. Is he turning into a villain in the league right now?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
You absolutely love it, bro. Do you have this? You have the Spurs winning that series, Bart?
I don't want to chance them, so I'm just not gonna win. I'm gonna say the opposite. So OKC gonna win in 6 games, but the opposite.
Bart, knocking on wood, bro. Summertime is coming up. Are you done with school?
Yeah, today was my last day.
Bro, last day of school. Let's go, brother. Do you have any fun summer plans, Bart?
Now I'm gonna be busy with football. You already know how that be as an athlete.
I do. Bro, I remember 2-a-days. I remember doing all that stuff, putting on the pads for the first time, getting out there for OTAs. You're going to have a good season, right?
Did you see the biggest sale of the Cavs history, bro? I've never seen them sell like that a day in my life, bro.
Bro, let them have it, bro. Bart. Let them have it.
New York could not hit nothing in the third quarter. When I tell you nothing, I mean Nathaniel. Cleveland literally had the game in their hands in the fourth quarter. They was up 22 points. And then they just started doing fast pace. All they had to do was hold the ball. They started shooting. I kept seeing James Harden and Donovan Mitchell go from doing good to playing poor. And I see New York go from 20 points down to 15 points down, 10 points down, 5 points down. I'm like, what? They took the lead? Man, I was so surprised. I was like, what am I watching?
Bart, it was unbelievable stuff, dude. I think I might go out on a limb and say this has been the best 48 hours in basketball history.
I gotta believe it with you, son. I believe it too. It's been the best 48 hours in my life too. Look, I'm out of school. I watched the best playoffs in my lifetime, and it can't get better than this.
Bro, Bart is living a dream, brother. Thank you for calling in, Bart. Good to hear from you, dude. God bless. We'll talk soon.
All right, bro.
Peace. Frank Carvalho. Sorry, I'm just finding. Bro, Caden Lane, Dero, I'm not Flyboy, Jason with the follow. Bro, you guys are the absolute man, bro. Modus Capital Management, NYU. Sounds right. We found him, brother. Oh, my gosh. He's got a really good job, too. That sucks. Yeah, this guy definitely says it. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Austin. I'm calling from Detroit.
Austin from Detroit. Dude, I was in Detroit last summer. That city gets such a bad rap. I absolutely loved it, bro.
No, it's nice out here. I mean, it really is nice out here. The sports are actually turning themselves around, too. It's really a nice thing to have.
I love that Comerica Park is like right in the middle of downtown. It's a great city. Really, really good people. Brother, you just went you had a 7-game series with this Cavaliers. It's got to be tough watching them drop that game last night in a game that I think the Pistons probably would have won.
Oh, no, we would have won. I fully believe we would have won in 7 there, but we would have got killed by San Antonio. But
what you got?
I have the Knicks winning in 4. There's not even a chance. There's Donovan Mitchell and James Harden do not have a chance.
It seems like they just ran out of gas. I'm surprised Kenny Atkinson left James Harden in the game. He had 2 timeouts he didn't use. And then after the game, Kenny Atkinson had the gall to say that they got unlucky. It was a horrible performance at the end.
No, it's just a horrible performance anyway. Either way. In the final, I mean, not even in the finals, in the playoffs, I haven't seen one coach that I've been absolutely happy with. With J.D. Bickerstaff with the Pistons, he's not been great. Cavaliers, not been great. All these coaches they're not stepping up to the plate right.
It's an interesting take. Yeah, we don't really have like a dominant name in sports. Even a lot of people who are like Joe Mazzulla is the best coach. Like he had a horrible game plan and kind of lost it for the Celtics in 7 against them, just chucking up threes. It's kind of a great take. Do you think the NBA should just get rid of coaches?
Get rid of coaches?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say get rid of them, but I don't think they're that much of a pivotal piece, to be honest.
What if we auctioned off every game and there's 82 chances to coach? So it's like fans get to coach 1 game a year and they auction it off for money and all the money goes to charity.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, let's paint the picture. Austin, you're the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. What do you do when you're up 22 with 7 minutes left and the Knicks start to make a run?
Just waste the time. And if I'm calling it, if they're on a run, if they're scoring 10 points before we score 1, I'm calling a timeout.
Okay, and are you going to leave James Harden in just to have him get cooked by Jalen Brunson every play?
I would never. I don't even think I would start Jalen. Not Jalen. I don't think I would start him.
Bro, see, Austin, you just proved the point. I think the fans would be better coaches than the actual dudes out there. Brother, we have an unbelievable game tonight, Spurs and Thunder. Who you got in tonight's game?
I fully have Spurs in 4 in this whole series.
Wow, double sweeps. We got Knicks in 4 and Spurs in 4. We're getting to the finals quick.
And then, that finals are going to be in 4 too. San Antonio's taking it.
I absolutely love it. I love the idea of Knicks fans getting all the way to the mountaintop just to get completely dismantled by whoever comes out of the West.
I mean, as a Detroit fan, I hate that whole entire side of the bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, as like I'm like the down low. I'm kind of I like Jalen Brunson, but still.
Did you see this? There was a stat I saw today as a Detroit fan. You'll love this. Asar Thompson's the first player to have 25 blocks, 25 steals in less than 15 games in the postseason.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love to see it. And I'm going to be honest and go out on a limb and say if Wembanyama was not in the league, Asar Thompson is the greatest defensive player in the league right now, by far.
Greatest defensive guard?
Maybe, yeah, probably just, I would stick to guard. If he just gets himself with shooting, I think he will be up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
It doesn't even have to be great. Just if he could shoot 32% from 3, he might be a Hall of Famer. Austin, unbelievable stuff. God bless you. Thanks for following the show and calling in. We'll talk soon.
All right, see you later.
Peace. What's up, Mirza? LeBron is in here. Khalil is in here. Howard is back in here. What up, Howard? Fabian is in here hanging out. All the homies are back on chat. And Gregory0711 with the big follow right there. This guy was first. I got to take these in order. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
What's up, man? My name's Caden. I'm calling in from Fort Worth, Texas.
Caden from Fort Worth, Texas. Is that TCU territory?
Close to it.
Bro, you're a Texas boy. Are you excited as excited as I am for college football?
Oh, I love it. I love college football. Love it. I didn't even go to college, so I don't even have a team. I just like watching it. So,
Caden, I love it, bro. You love of the game. You're calling into today's show. What did you got for us today?
So I'm a Thunder fan. I've been a Thunder fan since 2009. That's when I got into basketball. So
wow. So you're an inaugural season type guy. You've been there the whole time.
I've been a fan. I love them. I actually my basketball team that I played with in middle school and all that, we used to go to OKC games, and I fell in love with Russ. So ever since then, I've just been a big Thunder fan.
I love it, dude. So the feeling right now, down one game to this Spurs team with Victor Wembanyama on the floor, I've had the take that you guys played one of the worst games I've ever seen you play, and it still went to double overtime.
Same.
You had a chance to win it. Where are you at with this series?
Yep. I've seen a lot of people asking about, Mark and his decision in sitting Isaiah Joe, our best three-point shooter, and literally playing him for 15 seconds in the game. I thought that was ridiculous. A team we're facing against a team that they are guarding the paint the entire time with that alien, and that beast, and he's a big problem for us. And so we need to hit our shots. And why are we not playing Isaiah Joe? That's my problem.
I think Jared McCain didn't get enough run in that game either. Like, if the game is going to be dribble, drive into the paint, and then kick out for three, you need to have good three-point shooters, and the only one that could make a basket was Alex Caruso.
Yeah, 100%. And also, on defense, why are we still putting a little man on, why are we putting Caruso on Wemby? It worked against Jokic back, on the Nuggets last season in the playoffs. Yeah. But Wemby is not Jokic. Wemby is not Jokic at all. He's a different player. And so we need to just put Chet on Wemby and just suck it up. And he might get pooped on a little bit, but we need to just take it.
I hear what you're saying. It also free Alex Caruso up a little bit to have some help defense on those guards who, should play better towards the end of the season. Yeah. My big worry is if they go back to that 2-3 zone and they just keep collapsing the paint. It felt like SGA was just doing the same thing every single play. Get a little bit of a screen, drive to the paint, and then they would just collapse on him, and he can't score that way. Can he possibly score without the ball in his hand? Like, can he be off ball in this game?
I think another thing, I think that's a great point, but I also think that we saw a lot from SGA because he had a really terrible game. Terrible game. Shooting game. He still put up some good numbers, but I think genuinely he needs to be more selfish this game, in my opinion. I think that he needs to do what Shea does. He's the MVP for a reason.
Yeah.
And we saw this last year when he steps up and he starts making those shots and he does not hesitate, because we saw him hesitate a lot and throw some turnovers there too.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing is that, he's looking out because he's scared to go up to the paint because, you got that 7'6" player in the middle right there. So it's a little terrifying, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to just rely on what he knows best and just play like Shea.
Play like the MVP. Caden, unbelievable stuff, bro. God bless you. Thanks for following the show. Thank you for calling in. We'll talk soon, dog.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Peace. Howard's like, SGA will be fine. Josh is saying Thunder in never. Troy is saying Thunder in 5. All the guys who are like, hey, the Thunder are not winning another game. You watched one basketball game, and you were like, Can we just pump the brakes a little bit? The Thunder played the worst game they've ever played of this entire season. I've never seen them play that bad of a basketball game in the past 2 years of watching them. They had the MVP on their team. SGA was 8 for 23 from the floor. He had 24 points. Bad 24 points. They needed Alex Caruso to carry them. That team played horrible on offense. The defense was fine. Holding the Spurs to 101 in regulation. That is a job well done. The defense is always going to be there. Caruso guarding Wemby, he was great, okay? I watched the Thunder play such a bad basketball game and still had a 3-point lead at the end of the game. Wemby needed to hit the craziest shot maybe in playoff history, at least in these playoffs, to force an overtime. You are the Thunder. You're waking up today. We played the worst game ever, and we still sent it to double overtime and still had the lead with 26 seconds left. I think the Thunder are going to be fine, but maybe I don't know ball. Our worst game, and we went to double OT, said Cade, and that's true. Nick says Thunder are going to bounce back. Young is bringing up a good point. Young Snake, I believe. I don't like that name anymore. Never mind. You brought up a bad point. You suck, bro. Get out. Just kidding, Young Snake. You're the man. What is up, my brother, Hailstorm Sports? Hailstorm, what up, dog?
What's going on, Zach? You doing good, man?
I'm doing all right. Loaded question, but I'm doing all right. Hailstorm, I just appreciate you calling in and always like being willing to have some logical sports conversations. I've got Knicks fans all over the place mad at me for picking Knicks in 7. I picked them to win the series, and they're pissed I didn't do it in 5.
Yeah, and I think that 5 is probably the right take now too, because you picked it before, but I feel like the Cavs, like, they had to win last night if they wanted to be competitive in the series. And Donovan Mitchell also looked hurt at the end of the game too. I don't know if people haven't talked about that enough. He didn't touch the ball hardly at all in overtime. He kind of stood in the corner, and when he was running, he looked like he was in pain. They haven't posted anything about it, but he was either so gassed he looked hurt, or he was a little hurt. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, Hailstorm, so we do live NBA watch-alongs every night of the playoffs. So, guys, tune in tonight around after halftime of the game tonight. I'll go live, and we could talk ball and take calls. But me and Hailstorm were literally in the chat together watching that game, and you and I were audibly like, how is James Harden still guarding Jalen Brunson? How is he still in the game? And then today I'm like, I still can't – I woke up in the middle of the night like, why did James Harden stay in the game?
Yeah, I got some takes. I got some takes for you.
Fire them off.
So, first off, the Cavs, they're probably – I mean this now. I said Knicks in 5. The Knicks are sweeping, and I'm going to tell you why. the Cavs losing that way is bad, right? It's terrible.
Yeah.
But when you lose that poorly and then you go to the podium as a player in James Harden and as a coach in Kenny Atkinson, and you just point fingers, you don't take responsibility. I mean, Kenny Atkinson said, I like to have 2 timeouts in my pocket. He said that on a press conference after blowing a 27-point lead. Use them. You gave up so many runs. You were outscored 44-11 from being up 23 to the end of the game.
It was unbelievable. They went on like multiple 15-0 runs, and you didn't use your timeouts at all. Dude, I assume you heard this. Kenny Atkinson said they also got a little bit lucky at the end.
Yeah. No. They didn't get lucky. They got lucky. You were coaching against them. That was the luck they got, was that you were coaching against them. And it's so funny as a Hornets fan. I don't know if you remember this because the Hornets weren't good when all this went down. The Hornets hired Kenny Atkinson as a head coach like 4 years ago. They hired him.
Yeah.
And then last minute he pulled out. Was like, actually, I don't want to coach you guys, and pulled out. Like right before the season started, like right before training camp. So the Hornets had to bring back Steve Clifford, who was just chilling. I think he was an advisor there. He's like, fine, I'll coach a little bit more. And then it was like, then we fell into the depths of suck even further, and that was that. But I feel like I've dodged a bullet.
Yeah, you got it, dude. After the comments after the game, first of all, he started the press conference so smug and was like smiling. He's like, "Hey, I thought we played really well for 3 quarters. 4th quarter, like the wheels kind of fell off, but we're gonna be fine." And I'm like, "Bro, you said Mikal Bridges' shots were lucky because they were like down in the shot clock." I'm like, "That's a legit 3-point shooter who had open threes and he hit them."
Shooter.
Yeah,
he has no 3-point celebration that people know because he's a shooter.
The only time they got unlucky was at the end of regulation. That shot from Sam Merrill, that 3 to win the game, was going in, and it bounced in and out.
So good,
bro. Mike Brady
Sam Merrill was about to bless them with a bailout of all time.
I mean, it would have been so funny if New York, they came all the way back from 22 to tie the game, and then Sam Merrill is like, "Nah, actually, I call game right now, bro." That's serious. Yeah, go,
bro. Harden, like his comments, like we got to defend. He said, we have to defend Jalen Brunson better. Bro, you're the one guarding him.
Yeah.
We have to. James, you have to defend James Harden. And then you have to defend him better, Jalen Brunson better. And then Kenny Atkinson went on to say that he won't consider benching James Harden, which I'm going to be real. Don't bench Harden because he slows the offense. The offense looked bad at the end of the 4th quarter, don't get me wrong. But he's the facilitator. Donovan Mitchell cannot create like James Harden. The team looks better when James Harden's on the floor, at least offensively. But he didn't say that in the press conference. He said because he's been one of our best defenders all playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Say, hey, he's one of the greatest facilitators of all time. And you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he says he's been a good defender while he's in a traffic cone out there against Brunson. And like I'm calm with sports takes. I'm somebody, I think through. I'm not somebody like this who gets like up.
Yeah. You're not like me.
This has been the worst press conference I've ever seen by a coach post game in a playoff game that wasn't like losing their mind.
It was, dude. It was a bad look. I watched it this morning hoping to get like a couple of quotes and like see what the vibe was. I just wanted to see how sad he was and depressed. And to come in like arrogant like that was just so tough. And James Harden, bro, I feel bad for James Harden. I think he's a very a lot of people talk a lot of crap on James Harden. I think he's had a lot better career than people do think. But ultimately, if you pull him out of the game and you replace him with Max Strus last night in the fourth quarter, I think they win the game.
Yeah. Or Ken Ellis or anybody,
Yeah.
Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder, bro, would have been perfect. He plays great defense, would have been able to lock up Brunson a little bit more. It's just Brunson had 11 straight points to get the game within 5, I believe, or 3, and it's like we were watching it live together, and we just saw it slowly drift away out of the hands of the Cavs. I feel bad for the Pistons. Like, Pistons fan had to be watching that like we would have won that game.
Yeah. They're happy they have J.B. Bickerstaff from the Cavs, and the Cavs hired Kenny Atkinson instead for sure for the future.
Yeah.
But I got a quick Wemby take too, if that's okay. I know we've been talking a little long, but quick Wemby take.
Let's do it.
Well, it's a Wemby Chet take.
Okay.
I saw Nick Wright talk today. I don't know if you saw this quote. Nick Wright said, "I don't care." Like Chet tries to pretend like this isn't a rivalry, and Wemby doesn't say it publicly, but we all know that Wemby cares.
Yeah.
There's a rivalry. We know it is, and Wemby gets up to these games. Nick Wright said, "I don't care what Chet says. He needs to buck up to the intensity that Wemby's bringing in. He needs to acknowledge this as a rivalry and take it seriously himself, because if not, he's going to get played off the court." And I mean, Chet's owed $41 million next season.
Jeez.
He put up like 8 points.
Yeah, and didn't play well defensively either. And that's what all you need him to do is play good defense.
And grab some rebounds. He had like 8 points, like 6 boards or something, like gross stat. He has to take this seriously. He has to take this seriously, or there's no point in playing the game. Like, you're not gonna. And like, I want to make a comment on like the Thunder. Like, yeah, they played a horrible game. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you did also have, in the we went double overtime. You had one of your role players who doesn't throw a lot of points, put up almost a 40 piece.
Yeah,
that's not nothing.
No, and it's every night a new guy steps up, and like last night it was Caruso, and then who's it going to be tonight? Case and Wallace, so many guys.
That's what I'm saying is like, people are like, "Oh yeah, it was a bad game," but like we went double overtime. It's like Caruso's not going to score 40 points every night, so you got to think about this stuff. Like, I understand the sentiment of, we had a bad game and it was close, so it's gonna, by theory we're gonna win the series. I'm not saying they're not gonna win the series. I think the Thunder still win the series.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's as close as, or not as close as Thunder fans are thinking now. And I don't know.
Yeah, they absolutely need Chet to step up. MJ Nation in the YouTube chat saying Chet is scared of Wemby. I'm kind of with you, bro. Hailstorm. Unbelievable stuff. Thanks for joining us. Where can the people find your content? Because it's always great NBA takes, NFL takes, a lot of Carolina-centric stuff. So where can the people find you?
Hailstorm Sports on YouTube, on TikTok here. Working on some content myself, and then I got if you follow any kind of sports, the Locked On Podcast Network, look up Locked On and your team. No matter if it's NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, there's or some college teams.
Yeah,
there's probably a podcast for you to listen to every week, and if you listen to them, I make money. So I like that.
I love it, brother. Hailstorm, you're the absolute man. God bless, brother. We'll talk soon.
Hey, see you, man.
Peace. MJ Nash said it's more than just being a rivalry. It obviously goes back to when they were younger, because they played U17 against each other, right? Go America, first of all. I think there is a fear of trying, right? If I don't try to do something great, I will never fail. There's a lot of people in this life that kind of just roll through life without attempting anything great or anything difficult or anything hard because of fear of failure. Chet he's going to make a lot of money. He's going to have a really good career, right? Doing his thing over there. I think he's very glad that he was not guarding Wemby. I don't think he wants to guard Wemby. A guy like Alex Caruso wants that smoke. Caruso wanted Wemby. I know for a fact the way that guy plays and the way that his attitude is and the way that his motor works, you know he wanted that matchup. I think Chet is afraid. I think he's ducking the smoke, not going to lie, man. Thunder in 5 is a ridiculous take, bro. Why? Tell me why. Miles QQ. You have a cross in your bio. God bless you, brother. Dagnall won't put Chet on Wemby. Howard, bro, I think Dagnall is like slightly protecting Chet from the embarrassment of guarding Wemby. Everybody wants to trade Chet for Giannis. Chet is not afraid of Wemby. He's told to not engage. So you're more on the side of Howard, like they need Chet to like stay over there and be like a help defense guy. No way someone punks you so many times as a man and you do nothing and then not being afraid of him. MJ, it's a legit rivalry that I think is budding before our eyes. Bro, the Spurs aren't going to sit there and take it twice in San Antonio. Hey, Miles, I made these predictions before the series even started, brother. You think I woke up today and was like, what's the dumbest thing I could possibly say? What an idiot. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ widescreen radio. Please mute the stream in the background. Keep it clean and let the people know your name and where you're calling in from.
Hello, it's Hunter from Delaware. It's been a little bit, right? It's been a little bit.
Hunter from Delaware, it has been some time, but brother, the time is now. Great to hear from you, dog. How are you?
I mean, I've recovered. I did recover 2 days after, we lost.
Okay.
It's fine.
You're fine now. Yeah, you're back in action. Are you on summer break yet?
No. For some reason, the school, Delaware is one of the last states to let out.
Really? When does summer start?
We start June 10th. So we still got we got 3 weeks in time, actual time, 2 weeks of actual school.
They probably just wanted to extend it so they could teach you about pride.
Oh, bro, come on, get out of here.
So, I'm sorry. Do you have any summer plans before we get into any of the sport?
They do have one assembly for that, though. They just do it to show everybody stuff, whatever.
And they have you as the special guest speaker?
Okay, buddy.
Hunter, you're calling in on today's show. What do you got for us, bro?
Well, I'll just say this. First take, whoever comes out of the West in 5 in the finals, right?
Yeah.
That's off rip.
Okay.
That's the NBA finals. When I'm watching the Spurs and the Thunder, whoever wins that series is going to dominate whoever comes out of the East, even if it's the Knicks, bro. Literally, you got Wembanyama. You got the best free throw shooter in the land. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And it's the Knicks and the Cavs on the other side. Both of those are good ball teams. But you got to imagine, though, if Thunder and Spurs goes to maybe 6 or 7, they're going to beat each other up a lot, bro. I think they're going to be pretty gassed coming into the finals. And if the Knicks do it in 4 or 5, they'll be pretty rested.
Well, I do think that the Knicks will come out of their series, but I don't think it's going to end in 4 or 5 like everybody's saying. I got the Knicks in 6.
Oh, so you think Cleveland is able to win a couple of games at home? They've been pretty good at home in the playoffs.
I think Cleveland will take a 2-1 series lead, kind of how round 1 was for New York against Atlanta. But New York's going to bounce back. They'll win game 4. I see Cleveland taking games 2 and 3, and then New York takes the final 3, games 4, 5, and 6.
Hunter, I absolutely love it. A guy like you who has got his head on his shoulders, a very smart, wise man, a man on the East Coast. I have a question for you. Is Victor Wembanyama bad for the game of basketball?
No.
I absolutely love it. Hunter, you're the man. God bless you. We'll talk soon, bro.
See ya. By the way,
peace.
Spurs in 5.
Spurs in 5. You heard it from Hunter. Peace out, bro. CC Blood, what up, dog? Howard Dolphin is still hanging with us. Wemby is hard to score on, the hardest. Come on now. He answered correctly. Oreo the cat over on Twitch, he's lonely right now. So what? Their bench is better than some of those starters sometimes. I think Khalil said tired of people underestimating the Knicks. Who's underestimating the Knicks right now? Who's underestimating the Knicks, dude? I think a big reason why the New York Knicks won that game last night is because they have the depth advantage on the Cavaliers. Now, I believe, front-end talent, starter level, I believe the Cavs are probably the more talented team when you just take the 5. But when you add in the depth coming off the bench, they don't win that game without Landry Shamet. Legit. I don't think they win that game without Mitchell Robinson. The Mitchell Robinson minutes were unbelievable. I think the only reason the Cavaliers lost that game is because they would not sit James Harden in the fourth quarter. Kenny Atkinson did not use his timeouts to stop the runs. And then the third one, when they got up 22 with 8 minutes left, they started to do the hack-a-Mitch thing. They started to slow the pace down. They started to try to just bleed the clock rather than play basketball. When it was timed with 4 minutes left and it was a 10-point game now, they're like, oh, we got to start playing offense again. They were not able to get up to that standard. They were not able to get up to their offensive standard that they started the game with. For the first 3 quarters, they were dominating the Knicks through the first 3 quarters. They completely fell off a cliff because I think they got away from their game plan. Now, that being said, if Cleveland comes out tomorrow, not tonight, tomorrow, and they bring back that same game plan from the first 3 quarters, and they make some more adjustments, and they give James Harden a little bit more rest, and they have Spida Mitchell rest a little bit more, and they have Keon Ellis play some key minutes, and they maybe even bring in a Jalen Tyson to get a little bit of run in there, you got to give your guys breathers. You have to let your guys sit in this series against the Knicks because of how hard the Knicks play. I think if they do those things, they can come back and win game 2. I actually think both series will end up 1 apiece. I think we're going to be getting a 1-1. Listen, dude, I think we might be getting legit the best conference finals in the history of basketball. I really do. MJ said SJ is bad for basketball. He's good for basketball if he makes this rivalry with the Spurs matter as much as it is. Knicks were rusty. It was very telling. I mean, yeah, I guess the rust thing is, yeah. You thought they just got unrusty, though, midway through the fourth quarter? That's not really how it works. A team is rusty. They're kind of like rusty the entire game. It's not like they just suddenly are like, oh, hey, we're unrusty now. They're just like, glink, glink, glink. They're like that guy from Robots. Remember when he pours the oil on him? Oh, yeah. And now he's like, woo, I can move now. It's not like it just happens middle of the game like that. The reason they've won the game is because the Cleveland Cavaliers just, oh my gosh, Kenny Atkinson had the worst coaching game ever. I don't think it was much about what the Knicks did. It was more about what the Cavs didn't do in that win for me. It was like a good, cool win for New York. It couldn't have happened to a worse group of fans, though. Arrogant, bad, horrible, terrible people that New York fans are. I think it was less about what New York did or what they accomplished and more about the Cavs' lack of thinking. Brunson is one of the only 4 people who can't be stopped when it comes to scoring. Said that before. I hear what you're saying. I do. Who would be the other 3? It's Luka, Shea, Brunson, and then who's that 4th? KD? Trailblazers were robbed. Ethan, that's the take of the day right then and there, brother. I love the fact that Ethan pops into the chat. Everyone's talking about the conference finals. Ethan's like, I still want to talk about the fact that the Trailblazers were robbed. They made a new rule for it. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hi, from Ryan. I'm from New York.
Ryan from New York calling into TBWZ. What is up, brother? Are you on summer break? Right.
No, we aren't.
When does summer break start?
I think like June 20th, something like that.
You got a lot of time left, bro. That stinks. Do you have any plans for summer?
I don't know. Probably vacation.
Vacation. I love it. Ryan, you're calling into the show. What do you want to talk about today?
We got to talk about Knicks versus Cavs.
Okay.
7.
Yeah, that game last night was unbelievable. Can you just paint the picture for me? You are down 22 points with 7 minutes left. Did you turn the TV off?
No, I didn't.
Good, because you're a loyal fan and you stick through the thick or the thin. The comeback happens. Like, are you on your feet screaming and yelling? Are you getting in trouble last night for being too loud?
Sure.
What's the energy like in New York right now?
Oh, it was insane. But I don't live in like city. I live in like Staten Island.
Okay, Staten Island up there. I still assume it's absolutely bumping. But yeah, Ryan, talk to me about this series. You feel good the rest of the way?
Yeah, but like I don't think it's gonna be in 7. No way. We got that shit in 4. We got it in 4.
Well, yeah, don't cuss on my show, please. You got it in 4 games. You don't think the Cavs are gonna win a single game? It's been one of the most dominant home playoff teams of the postseason so far.
Nah, I don't think so. Like after like they really thought they were gonna win that, but like we all showed out. We think we got that in 4.
Are you just doing this purely based off like momentum? Like you had that amazing win, you got the momentum. They're just gonna lay down and let you have it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's been a great year this year. Like I think if we keep going, I don't think it's gonna end up in 7.
I like it. So on the other end, a lot of people are saying that the winner of OKC and the Spurs is going to win the whole finals. What say you, brother?
So like we're going to the we're going to the finals.
Okay.
But the Thunder versus Spurs is like I watched the game. I watched it live.
Yeah, it's great.
It varies. Like anyone can win the game. It's anyone's game. And if the Thunders win, I think it will be Thunders, but not 4-1. Maybe in 6.
I like it. The Mecca. Have you been to a game at the Mecca before? Have you been to MSG?
Yeah, I have.
What was the energy last night? It looked unbelievable on the screen. Is the energy in that building for real?
Yeah, it is. It is how it is.
Yeah. Ryan, you're the absolute man, bro. Thanks for following the show. Thanks for calling in. God bless. We'll talk soon, bro.
Yep. You too.
Peace. Great call right there from Ryan. Unbelievable stuff. Khalil, thanks for hanging out and watching the show all day. You're a gem and a half. Thunder in 5 after game 1 we had. Yeah, all right. I made these predictions before game 1. I made these on Sunday actually. So, there you go. Without Caruso going off, they lose that game by 20 plus. Yeah, and if their MVP plays like an MVP, they win by 20 plus. So there you go. Every coin has 2 sides, brother. What is up, dog? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Nigger.
Ryan Ali is actually his name. No, never mind. Sorry. When someone does that, guys, so I apologize for all of the people who are listening to the show and heard that. I'm very, very sorry for that, and I apologize on that person's behalf. But just know, what I am able to do, I have a friend who's like a little bit of a PI type guy, and so you're able to put anybody's phone number into a search database, and it instantly pops up with their address, their full name, and like all of their family members as well. So when someone calls into the show and does something like that, I reverse look up their number, and then now I'm able to either look them up on LinkedIn if they're an adult with a job. I clip that part out and I send it to their work, and I'll be like, hey, this is the guy who called into the show. This is the guy who works for you. Here's what he said on my show. Or if they're like a child, which they usually are, and they can't drive, what I do is I find their mom or dad on Facebook and I send them the clip, and I'm like, hey, here's what your son did. I have gotten moms that email me back like, thank you so much for sending this to us. Our son's phone has been taken away. His laptop's taken away. He no longer is allowed to go online. It's like absolutely hilarious, and everyone's always so thankful that I do that to them. So if you're going to troll and you're going to say racist things on my show, brother, I clap back. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name's Deck, and I'm calling in from Boston, Massachusetts.
Dax from Boston. Dude, I went to BU. I lived in Brookline. What part of Boston are you in?
Quincy.
Yeah, Quincy, a little bit south, huh?
Yeah.
South Quincy.
I was just saying, wait, what did you have for the Spurs again? You had Spurs in 5?
My prediction before the series started was Thunder in 5. At this point, I probably think it's going to be a 6 or a 7 game series.
To be honest, bro, I don't think the Thunder got it. As much as I respect Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I do not respect him on the court.
I hear what you're saying. Is it just like the style and the game that he plays that you just don't respect?
Listen, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. But, he be flopping too much.
I hear that. I think it's slightly overblown sometimes, but I do hear what you're saying. It's like on one end you have Wemby playing like the most ethical hoops ever, and this guy could just go out here and dominate and play really hard defense. And on the other end, a bunch of guys who are just flopping. I think the refs were pretty good in the game, and ultimately, it's not as much about.
Great. The refs were great game 1. The refs were great.
They were great, and it's like we can get mad at Shea for being a flopper, but I'm more mad at the referees for allowing that to happen. But you saw when the refs call a good game, we get an unbelievable basketball game like we did on Monday. Brother, they play again tonight, and you've got the Spurs winning this one again tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, they look absolutely dominant.
I'm a Celtics fan, as you should know,
Yeah, you are.
So, I can't root for the Knicks. The Cavaliers, okay.
So question for a Celtics fan. I had another one on. All right, hung up. Dang. Let me just find this guy real quick. OKC is taking this one, though, not going to lie, said Ba Dog. What's up, Chris? Thank you for the follow, bro. Oh, it's Deck. Yeah, Deck, one call per show, bro, but I appreciate you following and calling in, man. Means a lot. But yeah, next show. I'm live again tonight, guys. After halftime of tonight's game, I'll be going live again, so you guys could call in later tonight, and we could talk ball live during the game. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
It's Khalil, and I'm from Maryland.
Bro, Khalil, thanks for watching the show, bro. I absolutely love the energy that you're bringing. What do you got for us today, Khalil?
Knicks versus Cavs.
Yeah, you like the Knicks, huh?
Oh yeah, 100% Knicks fan.
I love it, dude. The team looks really, really good. My whole thing with the Knicks specifically in this team, I don't know how old you are, but there were some very, very lean years for the New York Knicks. And now they're coming out as this dominant, unbelievable team. You have young kids in New York who have never experienced any pain, bro. It's crazy how good this team is right now.
Listen, I'm 16, but I've been watching the Knicks for forever. So I've known last year that hurt so bad.
Yeah.
One of the worst moments of my life. I cried.
I believe you did, Khalil. I could just hear the emotion. You're bringing it up again. You're like, it's all rushing back to you.
One of the worst games ever.
Khalil, you have Knicks in 4, right?
Knicks in 4. Look, they rusty right now. They coming back.
Yeah.
Because look, every game they dominated in the first quarter. They played better than this.
Yeah.
And I believe they could just do better. They were a little bit rusty. They're coming back into it. I feel like the second game is gonna prove whether they can play better than what they did the first game because they got lucky. The Cavs played stupid, and we got lucky.
Did.
I would say that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for being a real one, and Tough Commander brings a good point up. They're they're 10 deep now. I thought the big difference in the game was Kenny Atkinson made some mistakes down the road, and Jalen Brunson was just cooking Harden, but you guys are running 10 to 11 guys, and they're all coming in and putting up good minutes. If the Cavs are only running 8 dudes, you're just going to naturally gas them by the time they get to the fourth quarter every game.
Yes. That's what we did to the Sixers. They had no one. Yeah. No bench.
It's true. And you remember those games, the Sixers were decent in the first half, and then the second half just fall off a cliff. Khalil, you are a real one, and you love your team. How do you feel about all these people saying that whoever wins the West is going to sweep in the finals?
Listen, that is the most outlandish thing I ever heard because we beat the Spurs 6 times already.
Yeah,
6 times.
NBA Cup champions.
That makes 0 sense. I'm sorry for all you Spurs fans, but we're whooping y'all. OKC? See, that's more realistic. I will say OKC could beat us. Yes. I would put it in 6 or 7 maybe.
So you would have you think you guys would have a better chance against the Spurs than you would against OKC?
Yes. We played the Spurs before. We know how they play.
I love it, bro. It's a great take. Dog, in turn, you're from Maryland. Are you a Ravens fan? Or are you all New York sports?
No. I was born in New York. I just moved down here.
Okay. I absolutely love it, bro. That's not a bad area. Khalil, I don't know why. I usually don't do this, but do you have any advice or words of wisdom for the chat? It seems like you have your head on your shoulders and you got some good things to say to the people.
Hey, man. If your team ain't make it, I'm so sorry. Knicks in 4.
Khalil, you're the man, bro. God bless. We'll talk soon.
All right.
OKC in 5, you are not serious. Josh, what up, dog? How are you doing, bro? God bless you. Thanks for having a great day. He said, Jesus replied, you do not understand what I am doing, but someday you will. John 13:7. Brother, when you have a bio full of Bible verses and then you come in with hate, it's just the craziest thing ever. So, I don't know. I also picked these before the series started. So these are not I watched the game on Monday and then we're yeah, they're going to win in 5. This was from Sunday. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? He hung up. What is up, brother? You there? How are you? Hello? What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yo, I'm calling in from Georgia.
What's your name, brother?
My name is Braden.
Braden calling in from Georgia. Have you called into the show before, Braden?
No, sir. This is my first time.
I absolutely love it. All I ask is that you keep it clean and bring the heat. Braden, what do you got for us today?
All right. So first of all, OKC in 5 is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, even knowing like who they was coming up against, and you had them at 5, I understand that you picked it before the series, but saying it in 5 is still insane. I would have understood if it was like in 6 or 7. You got to think the Spurs like have a better overall roster than the Thunder.
You think they have a better overall roster than the Thunder do?
I 100% believe that. Yes.
Well, let's go position by position. So point guard, who are you taking, De'Aaron Fox or SGA?
Of course, SGA.
Okay, so at 1, we got the Thunder. And then an easy one at the 5, are you taking Chet or Wemby? You're obviously taking Wemby.
I'm taking Wemby.
And then at the 2, would you rather have J-Dub or who is that? Vassell?
You said what? My bad.
Is it J-Dub or Vassell at the 2?
For the 2, I gotta say J-Dub.
Okay. And then the next would be like would be Castle and Lou Dort.
See, you said Castle or who? My bad.
Who would be the 3? Lou Dort, probably?
I believe so, yeah.
I'd probably go Castle there personally.
Yeah, I would go Castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and then the 4, I guess, it'd be like, it's a mix of guys in there at the 4, but I hear what you're saying, top-end talent. I think OKC has a lot of depth, though. I think they have the better defensive roster, but the guards for the Spurs are unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, so the way I look at it as, though, like, the only way that OKC even wins this series is with the refs' help like they had last year. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a Warriors fan, so.
Well, that was the best part of Game 1 was we didn't have the inclusion of the referees. I thought it was like a decently called game.
Oh yes, 100%, and I love that.
Yeah, I do too. My one thought, and like this it's one of those like two sides to every coin type thing. But OKC played maybe the worst basketball game I've seen them play in the past 2 years, and they still got to double overtime and did have a 3-point lead with 26 seconds left.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that game was like, I don't know. OKC, they was turning the ball over too much, and like everything that they was doing was questionable. The passes they was making, their shooting attempts was, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like some of the worst basketball I've seen them play.
It was really bad, and the MVP did not show out. You got to know, though, the reason the MVP did not show up was not because he was rusty, not because he couldn't shoot. It was because of the San Antonio Spurs defense. They switched to that 2-3 zone, and they were collapsing the paint, and he wasn't able to do a thing, and no one was able to shoot except for Caruso.
Oh, yeah. I mean, SGA, first of all, if he tries to run in the paint, Wemby's right there, and if Wemby ain't there, then Castle will be. And it's just like, Castle has underrated defense, in my opinion. I mean, that's just my take. But
Vassell played great defense too, and then the Thunder played really good defense as well, bro. They forced a lot of turnovers. They only gave up 101 in regulation.
Yeah, this is gonna. I believe that the OKC series is gonna be like a defensive series kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then the Cavaliers and Knicks. I ain't even gonna lie. I got the Knicks in 5.
Yeah, they looked they looked horrible last night, to be completely honest with you. That was an awful basketball game. But
if we being completely honest, the only reason why the Cavs even beat the Pistons was because of the refs. I'm not saying just the last game. I'm talking about the whole series.
Yeah, I hear that. I do. I don't like to do the whole like they won because of the refs thing, but I hear you. I mean, I think the Pistons would have won that game last night. I don't think the Pistons would have given up a 22-point lead.
Oh no, 100% they won it though. That's the Pistons that we talking about.
Mm-hmm. Braden, are you a Hawks fan?
Am I a Hawks fan? No, I'm not.
Well, you're from Georgia. Who do you root for?
I'm not. I was born in Baltimore, but since we don't have a basketball team, I just root for like one of the closest teams, and I root for the 76ers. Hey,
nice. Are you a Ravens fan?
I hate the city Baltimore.
Okay.
I don't like the city Baltimore. I'm gonna put it in TikTok terms. My bad. I don't like the city Baltimore. So I went with all their rivals, which was Pittsburgh. So,
dude, Khalil is in the chat like, "Hey, I'm from Baltimore. What up, dude?" And then he just hit a never mind. After all that, Braden, you're the absolute man, bro. Thanks for calling in. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Hey, God bless, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, peace, bro. Guys, we're gonna be live again later tonight. I go live every single night of the NBA playoffs. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1 p.m. Pacific to 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you like, that's the regular Take Back with Zach show. I'm Zach. If you want to talk ball while the game is on and do a little bit of post-game analysis and stuff, please follow the show and then tune in every single night of the NBA playoffs. We're going to be going live, whether it's your team or not. If you want to watch ball and hang out with us, and then call in after the show and talk about what's going on. We do questions of the day. We do little contests with our Discord and our Twitch all the time. We have a really, really good time over here, guys. So if you liked this show, tune back in tonight. Game is at 8:30 Eastern time, 8:30 Eastern. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's up? How you doing, bro?
What's up, my boy?
Dog, good to hear from you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Bryce, and I'm calling from Pittsburgh.
Bryson from Pittsburgh. I absolutely love it, dog. Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. How do you feel about that?
Terrible. He's old and slow.
He's old and slow, and he's in a tent doing bad, illegal things. But, brother, Bryson, you're calling in the show. What do you want to talk about today?
I want your opinion on why you think the Thunder are gonna go in 5.
Well, I made this prediction at the beginning of the series. I think the Thunder are just the better team. I mean, they've lost since the finals last year. They've only lost 21 games. It'd be 22 last night. They've been unbelievably dominant all season long. They've got all the depth in the world. They're very well rested. They have home court advantage. I thought the Thunder were going to show up and win that game. They did have a lead with 26 seconds left, but. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's probably going to be a 6 or 7 game series at this point now.
What's your opinion on Shea winning MVP?
I mean, I think he's the rightful MVP. It's the verbiage is what's wrong. Okay, the word valuable. It's not fair anymore to have the word valuable be part of the award. If we were going just based off value, it'd still be LeBron James because he brings in $1 billion just on his own accord every single season. But when we try to say like who's more valuable, everyone's like Jokic was more valuable to his team. But realistically, SGA was the best player in basketball this season.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I think SGA is going to choke the playoffs, and the Spurs are going to win in 4.
You think he's going to choke and the Spurs are going to win 3 games in a row against the reigning defending champion Thunder, who've only lost 20 times in the past year?
Yes.
Bryson, unbelievable stuff. My guy Oreo the Cat is a mod on Twitch. He also lives in Pittsburgh. He was asking what part of Pittsburgh you're in.
Towards I live towards Monroeville.
He lives underneath the Roberto Clemente Bridge. It's official. Bryson, thanks for calling in, bro. God bless. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
Peace. Great call from my buddy Bryson. Guys, really great job from all the past 5 or 6 callers. You guys have been absolutely bringing the heat and having a great time with us. Apple user has the Spurs winning. They swept them in the regular season. I think it was 4-1, Tyson, but yeah, I hear you. They were also playing Kenrich Williams 25 minutes a game back during those 3 losses to the Spurs in that 12-day period. Thank you, Jaden. Luka and Jokic were the best players in this season. I think Jokic would have been the offensive player of the year. Here's my real take, my actual take about it. The reason the MVP is so contentious right now is because we don't have an offensive player of the year and the word value. Value implies that the value that you bring to their team was the most valuable player. That you brought more value to your team than any other player. And that's not what the award is. The award is who was the best player this season. That's the actual award. That's not the verbiage of it, because that name is literal buns. If they called it best player of the season, it'd be a terrible, terrible award. But the word value is what skews this entire thing, right? Because if we talk about pure value-based, Jaylen Brown was the MVP, right? What he did for the Thunder was more valuable to that team than what SGA did for the Thunder. Nikola Jokic, if you take him off the Nuggets, that team is a play-in team. If you take SGA off the Thunder, they're probably still the 5 seed or maybe even the 4 seed because they have that much depth. The reason that we have such an argument about it is because of the word value being attributed to the award, when realistically, the award is just who was the best player this season. And if you're just doing it like that, SGA was the best player this season. We've never seen someone have the efficiency numbers and score at the rate that he did. The league needs an offensive player of the year to match the defensive player of the year. If we had an O-Poi, right, we'd have had Wemby as the D-Poi. We'd have Jokic would have been the O-Poi. And Shea would have been the best in the league award, which I've come up with an idea. They can't get rid of the name MVP because then it would just skew everything. But it's just reorganizing the way that we think about the award. It's not a value-based award. It's who was the best player. And that's why SGA won, because he was the best player this season. No one's done what he's done from the guard position. Luca, if we're being for real, this is not happening on the screen. JNX, no clue what you're talking about. Oh, Oreo the cat is not far. He's maybe 20 minutes from Monroeville. We got neighbors in the chat. I think the neighbors think about no. SGA was never in his life than Jokic. Good sentence, Philip. Congratulations on talking. SGA was never in his life better than Jokic. There we go, Philip. Yes, he was. Without Shea, the Thunder would win 42 games. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would be great. Actually, could a team with J-Dub leading them and Chet Holmgren, that team would still be good. I think they'd still be a 4 or 5 seed. It used to be value on the court. Now it's not. Well, the idea of value is tough. Wait, no one? Magic has? What did I say, Tough? Also, Luca would have won O-Poi? Hi, I live in the UK. I want to support an NBA team, but I don't know who. What should I do? Jake SB, this is the best question I've gotten in a long time. Jake SB, hang tight, okay? You don't want to go for a team that's a front runner right now because then they're like, oh, you just jumped on the best team, bro. You also don't really want to go for the worst team in the NBA because that would just be a tough situation to be in, right? Also, something's happening right now in the Western Conference between OKC and the Spurs. I don't think someone's going to be coming out of the Western Conference to go to the finals. Because SB, Jake, I believe. Yeah, Jake SB. The way the playoffs work in basketball is there's 15 teams in the West and 15 teams in the East. They play their own mini tournaments to get to one team each, and then those teams play in the finals for the championship game. The route from the Western Conference is so... The Western Conference is so loaded with talent. It's going to be really, really hard for a team not named OKC or not named San Antonio to get to the finals. So that narrows us down to a team in the Eastern Conference for you, Jake SB. Also, it's closer to home, so you can visit them. You want to choose a team that's like fringe playoff team, very, very fun to watch, and has superstar talent that in a couple of years you could be hoisting up the trophy. So, Jake, without further ado, the number one team for you to root for as a UK man looking to support a team is the Charlotte Hornets. Absolutely, the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball becomes your favorite player overnight. They have a bunch of young talents that are still developing. Colin Knippel is a great basketball player. You have a team there on the rise that just barely missed the playoffs this year, but are on the rise. That is option number one, okay? Option number two for me, you can go a more traditional route. This team has been very good for a long time. They have a good history, right? Larry Bird. The Indiana Pacers is another team that I would look out for because they will be competitive in the Eastern Conference. If you want to go with grit and you want to go with toughness and you favor defensive mindedness and a hard-nosed attitude over pizzazz, because the Hornets are the pizzazz team. Okay, the Pacers are the middle ground team. They have good offense, good defense. Yeah, that's your middle ground team. But your hard-nosed, tough defense team, you 1,000,000% go with Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons. Jake, I gave you 3 options. You only asked for 1. You're allowed to root for whoever you choose from those 3, but you're not able to go off list. You have to choose from one of those 3, and you have to credit me for all of your success as a fan of that team. Thank you. I'll take the credit now. What is the guy yapping about? Cam, I was helping a friend to figure out what team he should root for. We're losing tonight. The refs are terrible. Juo Chris is already blaming the referees for tonight's game. Jake, join the Knicks. There it is. Go for the Spurs? Yeah, you could also just go for the Spurs, MJ. Wait, MJ, if you're a Spurs fan, Oreo the Cat is in the Twitch chat every day. He's a diehard Spurs fan, so Twitch might be the place for you, brother. If Wemby doesn't hit that lucky 3, then OKC would have won. Gene, it's someone. I've been live for 3 hours, Gene, and no one has made that point yet, except for me and you. Congrats, Gene. If Wemby misses that shot, and it was a horrible shot, but I do have a wise man named Hailstorm Sports who once said no shot is a bad shot if it goes in the hoop. If he misses that shot, OKC wins the game. Like plain and simple. A lot of people are sitting here like, you think the Thunder could win in 5? I don't really anymore. I think it's probably going to be a 6 or 7 game series personally. But I don't know how you watched that game and didn't think that the Thunder are at least the same, or if not a better team than the Spurs. That shot was incredibly skillful. And it takes insane confidence and insane talent to hit that shot. But ultimately, the only guy who I'd ever trust taking that shot is Steph Curry or Dame Lillard. And even then, they only hit that 35% of the time. So the odds were not in your favor when you took that shot. But he put it in the hole. And instead of us talking about that was the dumbest play we could have ever seen someone make, the moment is too big for Victor. He had a great game and all, but that was a boneheaded move. They need De'Aaron Fox, yada, yada, yada. Instead of having that conversation, the conversation is now, the Spurs are going to win in 4. Because all of these people watch one game and they're like, I'm going to forget everything I've seen all regular season and all postseason and then only make an opinion off what I just saw last night. That is what they like to do. Randall Grichuk just went yard for the White Sox. It's 4-5, top of the 9th, no outs. They're down 1. They need an equalizer to keep the game going. People watch one basketball game and they're like, I'm going to forget about everything I just watched for the past 7 months of basketball and then just only make an opinion based off that. Yeah, I'll do that. It's inherently illogical. It's like when in the NFL, a team loses 2 games in a row. They're like, there's no shot the Falcons can beat the Rams. And it's like, Falcons just beat the Rams. And they're like, all right. Because it's sports, bro. It's sports. What I saw last night, what I saw the past 48 hours in basketball, 2 of the best basketball games I've ever seen in my life on back-to-back nights. The conference finals are absolutely delivering right now. Delivering in a way I've never seen a conference finals deliver. Brother, what we're seeing right now are 2 of the best series that we've seen in the playoffs. I don't think either of these are going to be sweeps. If they're going to hold that nomiker, if they're going to hold that title of being the best series we've ever had, you've got to imagine both these things are going to go 7. I want to be the guy that says both these are going to go 7. And we're just going to have the most cinematic, beautiful conference finals leading to one of the most watched finals of all time. I believe both teams are going to bounce back from this. I think both series are going to get evened up at 1 apiece. And I do think ultimately the Thunder are going to win tonight. If you guys want to watch the game with us, we're going to be live on Twitch, on YouTube, and on TikTok starting after halftime of tonight's game. We'll be going live talking ball and taking calls on Take Back with Zach. I am Zach. You've been watching TBWZ Widescreen Radio. I appreciate all of you guys who have followed. I appreciate everybody who has called into the show today. I appreciate all of the love. I appreciate all the hate. I appreciate all of the points that you guys have made. We're going to be hopping off, and I'm going to finish the show on Twitch only. So, fellas, thanks for hanging with us this entire show. I'll be live again later tonight, so tune in to the nightcap, TBWZ style. You guys are the best. Love you. Jesus, be with these men. Peace. Quick prayer for him real quick. MJ Nation, I'm actually a Lakers fan. I'm from Toronto, and I hate SGA. Wow, this is an anomaly. MJ Nation is a Lakers fan from Toronto and hates SGA. What is the game on tonight? It's on NBC. I'd rather watch Wemby over SGA as a Canadian. It's hard to watch SGA. Yuck. Dude, we have a Canadian on Canadian crime right now happening. It's unbelievable. W stream, bro. Thank you. People were super, super mean to me today. Super mean to me today. But some people were really, really kind and super, super nice. You know, you just don't know what you're doing. You're like, hey, what should I give more energy to? Do you give more energy to the people who are being kind and nice to you, or do you give more energy to the haters? Because the people who are nice, it's like, hey, thanks. And the conversation kind of ends there. But the hater, you can like kind of make some content around it. I don't know. I didn't cook a single clip up today. Bro. Today is just tough, bro. We are going to be going live later tonight to watch this Spurs and Thunder game together. It's going to be absolutely awesome. The Knicks fans suck. They're one of the... Dude, Knicks fans are some of the most grotesque, nasty human beings I've ever come across in my life. They are so fat and ugly. Their whole... I'm sorry if you're a Knicks fan in here. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. Their whole identity right now revolves around a basketball team. That's step one of being an idiot. Step two of being an idiot is having that dumb beard and going out into bang bong. Their catchphrase sucks. Knicks fans are just bad, nasty people. My shin hurts, bro. I got nailed by a pitch yesterday. Oreo the Cat, tough look. Oreo the Cat and the no good, very, very bad baseball team. That's who he's got. Fellas, on YouTube, MJ, bro. Thanks for hanging with us today on YouTube. You were absolutely holding it down. It seems like the numbers were pretty good over there. So, guys, thanks for watching on YouTube.com. I'm going to be signing off for the YouTube team and just finish this show the last 2 minutes on Twitch. I really, really do appreciate the blessings on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. Share it with a friend. Hang out with us later tonight. Call in when you get the opportunity. But ultimately, God bless you guys. Love you so much. YouTube people, peace out.